Family cultivation. I can improve my magic weapon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 301. The battle ends. Yang Wang took out the battle report Jade Talisman and looked at it, his expression condensed. What's the information? Chen Qingyun asked. Yang Wang said seriously, according to the reports from spies, the beast tide is still more than 500 miles away, and it will take about half an hour to arrive. More than 500 miles. Zhu Yurong raised his brows and said, this is still the slowest estimated time. The beast tide will look for food and rest on the way forward. We must make preparations in advance. Fellow Taoist Zhu and his team may not be able to assemble before the beast tide attacks. Another team that has not yet arrived at Yueyang City is led by Zhu Baishan, the purple mansion of Xingzhou. There are 6 Xiphus in the team, totaling 700 people. Wait a little longer. We really haven't arrived yet. Let's put in more effort and kill more monsters. Bei Ning said. Good. Yang Wang nodded, and then responded to Chen Qingyun's instructions, telling him that 2 teams had already gathered in Yueyang City. They were out exploring and had to be careful. In the process of being prepared, Zhu Baishan and the others were very fast. They rushed to Yueyang City in just one stick of incense. The 3 teams have been assembled, with a total of 2,200 people and 27 Xifu monks. According to this strength, they can completely match this incoming beast tide. Soon after, they met the beast tide, and a battle broke out. The battle lasted for more than an hour and was extremely fierce. Finally, the beast tide was ended outside the city. This battle was a complete victory. More than 2 months later, news about the 2 Fourth Order Demon Kings also came. Bei and Han, the 2 giant ancestors, always paid attention to the war situation in various places. With the help of several star patrols. Finally, he tracked down the hiding place of the 2 golden elixir demon kings, attacked with thunderous means, and killed them in the vast sea. When the fighting reached this point, the situation in the Eastern Theater calmed down. There are less than 1,000 monsters left, and they can no longer make any waves. As for the Western and Northern theaters, they have also entered into the finishing work early. Judging from this situation, there will be nothing to fight next. Then the war can end and everyone can go back to their homes. In the next few days, this wave of Star Sea monsters has basically ended, and the post-war statistical phase has entered. The 4 war zones conducted careful statistics and finally released a data. The monks who participated in the battle were all responsible for achieving a complete victory this time and quelling the demonic tide. In this battle, a total of more than 1.2 million monsters were killed, including 16 4th-level monster kings. On the human side, Z Mansion suffered a lot of casualties during qi refining and foundation building. According to detailed statistics, 13,932 qi refining monks died in the battle, with casualties reaching 10%. 452 foundation establishment monks died in the battle, 26 Xifu monks died in the battle, and 1 golden pill monk died. War is cruel and ruthless, and casualties are inevitable. In this regard, the Star Sect will issue pensions, and monks who die in battle will receive pensions from their fellow clansmen, sects, and friends. Qi refining monks who died in battle were given 3,000 spiritual stones. The foundation building monk distributed a foundation building pill. The Xifu monks will send out a Xifu crystal. The golden elixir monk issued a golden elixir. With these pension amounts, they can also get their blood back. For example, if the Yu family lost 3 foundation establishers in the battle, they will receive 3 foundation establishment pills as a pension this time, so that they can strive to add 3 more foundation establishment monks in the next few years. On the Zhang family side of Yanhuang Mountain, because they violated the rules of war and killed their comrades, the entire family monk group was wiped out, and they received no compensation at all. The granting of this pension will last for 1 month. During this period, any monks are prohibited from fighting with each other. After surviving on the battlefield, It was time to receive the reward. If there was an internal fight, not to mention Hangson, Xingzong would not tolerate any sand in his eyes. Everyone knew that they must not offend this bad guy, and everyone followed the rules and received their pensions. In the following days, Patriarch Hongling issued an announcement in the Eastern War Zone. Invite all major families, sect monks, and many casual cultivators to start gathering on Tianning Island and take the teleportation array back to the Inner Star Sea for free. If those monks living in the Outer Star Sea are not in a hurry, they only need to wait a few days before they can return on the Starsex warship. The most important thing is, don't forget to exchange the war achievements in your hands. A war merit workshop has been set up on Tianning Island, and everyone can choose to redeem it here. If the resources you want are lacking, you can also go to the Star Sect to exchange them within the next 3 years. In short, there is a resource list, which clearly states what is available and what is not. If it is not on the list, even the Star Sect does not have it, so everyone needs to exchange it. The monks of the Chen family gathered together and first counted the total battle achievements. After 2 years of fighting, a total of nearly 190,000 military merits were obtained. Among them, Chen Qingyun occupies the majority, and his military exploits are not small. Chen Xianming and others also have more than 10,000 military exploits in their hands. Chen Xianming has more than 19,000, and Chen Qingyun has the least, with only 10,000. This number is quite large, far more than the Yang family, Zhu family and others. In addition, in terms of battle rewards, everyone received 1,000 spirit stones, for a total of 9,000 spirit stones. With so many spiritual stones, according to Chen Qingyun's words, he made a fortune. And this is only the spirit stone reward. The resources that can be exchanged for those military achievements amount to hundreds of thousands of spirit stones. Fighting is high risk, but it is indeed a way to get rich quickly. This was true from the initial annihilation of the Zhao family to this battle on the Star Sea. With so many battle achievements in hand, even if they don't join together, everyone can exchange them for a foundation establishment pill. The Chen family held serious discussions on how to use these military exploits rationally. The battle is over. It will not be easy to obtain monster resources so easily in the future, so let's exchange for the foundation establishment pill first. Chen Xianming suggested. No matter where the foundation establishment pill is placed, it is an extremely important strategic resource. There is at least a 50% chance of cultivating a foundation establishment monk, even if it is stored at home and gathers dust. It is still worthwhile. This additional traditional foundation building method can also play a vital role in the development of the family. Yes, it's better to redeem the foundation establishment pill first. Chen Dalen nodded and said. There is nothing to object to. According to the amount of combat merit in everyone's hands, each person can be exchanged for a foundation establishment pill. Those who have broken through the foundation building period can exchange for pills, treasures, etc. that are beneficial to their cultivation. For example, Chen Qingyun, the only one among the 9 who is still at the 8th level of qi refining, deserves to exchange for a foundation building pill to prepare for future foundation building. Those monster resources are useful before the golden elixir stage and do not necessarily have to be used to attack the foundation building stage. Since you have to have the foundation establishment pill, you won't just exchange for one. Of course, the more the better. Chapter 302 Spending money like water. The total number of merit points of the group was close to 190,000, and they decided to collect them and exchange them for 5 foundation building pills. The merit points collected to make up the number must be registered. After returning to the family, they will be exchanged for spirit stones or resources one by one, and the principal and interest will be returned. After satisfying the family's exchange needs, if there are any remaining merit points, they can exchange them for other items they want, which is to take what they need. After discussing the exchange ideas, several people went to the merit square. After talking about the need to exchange for foundation building pills, the Xingzong deacon smiled and said, "There are only 3 of the 5 foundation building pills left in the warehouse. If you don't mind, I can exchange 3 for you first. The remaining 2, wait for the new foundation building pill to come out, You can go to the Xingzong headquarters to collect them. There are only 3 foundation building pills left. Chen Dalen murmured to himself, thinking that the foundation building pill would be very popular and many people would definitely exchange it, but it was too popular. According to the exchange list, there are 500 foundation building pills in reserve on Tanning Island, but only 3 are left now, which shows how huge the exchange volume is. How long will it take to get the next 2 foundation building pills? Chen Xianming asked. If it takes a long time to wait, it is better to use the 20,000 war merits to exchange for other resources. The Xingzong deacon gestured with his hand and said, 2 years, at most 2 years. We will leave a communication talisman, and we will notify you as soon as we have the foundation building pills. Okay. Knowing that he didn't have to wait too long, Chen Xianming said decisively, let's exchange. Xingzong's reputation is still trustworthy, and it won't default on this and cause a scandal. After they exchanged 3 foundation building pills, the cultivators in the queue behind exchanged 4 foundation building pills, and the response they received was that they all needed to wait. Even so, many cultivators exchanged without saying a word, and it would only take 1 or 2 years, which would pass quickly. If they exchanged later, how long would they have to wait in line? Chen Xianming put away the foundation building pill with a smile. Next, he needs to exchange some resources for the family. Among them, the most important one is the soul enriching array, which is a formation that can improve the level of the soul vein. The current soul vein level of Linjian Island is the 2nd grade upper grade. Many spiritual medicines are planted on the island, and it also needs a lot of heaven and earth spiritual energy to maintain. Now 2 purple mansion monks have been added. In the future, if purple mansion monks are added, the entire level of soul veins will not be enough to maintain the daily practice of 3 purple mansion monks. To solve this problem, it is necessary to upgrade the soul vein level as soon as possible and make plans early. The soul enriching array is a more advanced formation than the soul gathering array. It has only one effect, which is to nourish the soul vein and improve the soul vein. According to the calculation of the improvement process, it takes about 3 years to upgrade the soul vein by 1 level. The soul enriching array must be exchanged. The future sustainable development of the Chen family cannot avoid the link of upgrading the soul vein. The increasingly pure and rich heaven and earth spiritual energy is also more conducive to the practice of the family monks and improves the practice efficiency. In the past, the Chen family had no purple mansion cultivators and not much foundation. A 2nd grade upper grade spiritual vein was enough to develop for another 10 years. Now that the overall strength of the family has been greatly improved, with the addition of multiple foundation building cultivators and 2 purple mansion cultivators, there is no time to delay and the optimization of the spiritual vein must be arranged immediately. Chen Qingyun and his companions gathered together. The resources of this battle merit shop are very rich, with more than 3,000 resource exchange items, which are dazzling. Among them, there are more than 20 soul formations, each with different grades. The lowest is the 1st grade and the highest is the 5th grade. To upgrade the 2nd grade upper grade spiritual vein, at least a 2nd grade top grade soul formation is required. In order to speed up the nourishment speed, Chen Xianming and his companions discussed and decided to exchange for a 3rd grade top grade soul formation. This grade of soul formation only takes 3 years to upgrade the spiritual vein of Linjian Island to the 3rd grade upper grade level, which is equivalent to upgrading a large grade. The price is quite expensive, requiring 60,000 battle merit points, which is equivalent to 60,000 spirit stones. Ordinary attack and defense formations, 3rd grade top grade formations, generally cost around 50,000 spirit stones. Because the soul condensation formation is expensive, uses more materials, has special effects, and is a very popular formation, its price is naturally much more expensive than formations of the same grade. You can't catch a wolf without sacrificing a child, so it's okay if it's expensive. Even though Chen Xianming felt pain, he knew the importance of the soul condensation formation, and he couldn't save a single spirit stone on this aspect. Not only that, in order to gather more spiritual energy on Linjian Island and have a better cultivation environment, he decided to exchange for another set of soul condensation formation. The third grade middle grade soul condensation formation is about 20% more expensive than other types of formations of the same grade, and requires 40,000 war merits. The exchange of these two formations totaled 100,000 war merits, and the remaining war merits in the hands of several people were only more than 30,000. This time, they all put their family first. Everyone gathered together their war merits and exchanged the most needed resources first. Foundation building pill, soul condensation formation, soul condensation formation. After 3 exchanges, 150,000 war merits were spent at once, which was really like spending money like water. After some discussion, Chen Qingyun suggested that the remaining 20,000 war merits should be targeted at spiritual trees. After comparing and weighing various items, they exchanged for 3 spiritual trees. One was a first-class red sun fruit tree. This tree bears fruit once a year, and the number of fruits produced each year is about 50. The fruit can be consumed by qi refining cultivators to increase their cultivation. In the family, qi refining cultivators are the most basic and the largest group. With this red sun fruit tree, it will definitely be beneficial to the cultivation of foundation building cultivators. Chen Qingyun proposed to exchange the spiritual tree, which is worth 2,500 war merits, and Chen Qingyun and others nodded in agreement. The second type is the spiritual peach tree, which is a second-grade top-grade tree. It also bears fruit once a year. The peaches it bears can help foundation-building cultivators increase their cultivation, and it is worth 7,500 war merits. The third type is the spiritual apricot tree. This tree bears spiritual apricots once a year, which can be used to optimize the soul of foundation-building cultivators. After refining, it was exchanged at the suggestion of Chen Qingyun, and it is worth 7,140 war merits. After exchanging these items, the total war merits left by everyone were only a little over 12,000. At this time, there were 2 things that aroused their interest. One is the alchemy inheritance, and the other is the weapon refining inheritance. Both of these have a lot of Taoist art knowledge, notes, books, etc., and the content covers the third grade top grade. It is worth mentioning that the price is not expensive. Each is 3,120 war merits. It is a cost-effective resource promoted by Xingzong, and is liked by many cultivators, especially family cultivators. This alchemy and weapon refining attainment's inheritance is not cheap. But considering that not everyone who gets these has the ability, resources, and is willing to spend money to learn. Let the casual cultivators learn. How can they invest so many spirit stones? To maintain daily practice, you must be frugal and budget carefully. Therefore, this thing can only be faced by families and sects. Chapter 303 Return and Triumph. In Lingbao Mountain and Yaoang Mountain, people have achieved extraordinary accomplishments in this field, and they are at the level of the ancestors. Why do they need to exchange these? They may not want them even if they are given to them. Small families are reluctant to sell their military merits for this, and they pay more attention to the improvement of family strength. They will consider these things after the family has some foundation. As for the big families, they have everything. It is also like the Chen family, which has recently exploded and needs to improve the spiritual veins and follow up on the resources to maintain, so they will be willing to exchange. Finally, it is the practice. As for the Purple Mansion practice, the Chen family now has only one great wilderness devouring demon practice, which has no problem practicing to the golden core stage, but the selection is too single. Once the monster resources are missing, there is no point in refining. Therefore, there cannot be only one Purple Mansion practice, but 1 or 2 should be added. As for the higher grade golden core practice, it is good, but the price is too expensive, starting at 40,000 military merits. Even if you want to exchange, it is not on the exchange list. These golden elixir techniques are all inherited techniques of major sects and families, and will not be sold or displayed to the public. The ones that are exchanged now are the highest grade and most Purple Mansion techniques. There are a total of 16 Purple Mansion techniques, and the price is about 8,000 war merits per technique. After careful comparison, selection, and discussion, Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun each chose a technique. The one that Chen Xianming chose was a fire attribute technique called Teku Purple Fire Technique, which can perfectly match the cultivation of fire attribute cultivators. His main spiritual route is fire, and so is Chen Qingyun's. This technique can satisfy the cultivation of both of them at the same time. The exchange price of Teku Purple Fire Technique is 8,400 war merits. The technique that Chen Qingyun chose is called Zhuxiantu, which is also a purple mansion technique. The difference is that this is not a single attribute technique, but a collection of many ancient secret techniques. Each of these secret arts has its own merits, such as Xuanyang Divine Light, Demon Slash, Mind Reading, Qi Viewing, Spiritual Fire Fusion, etc. Here, when Chen Qingyun saw the spiritual fire fusion, his eyes lit up. He could not see the detailed information about what it was used for and how to perform it. But even so, looking at the other secret arts was enough to interest him. A total of 16,200 points of war merit were spent, and the two exchanged Teku Purple Fire Art and Xuanyangju. The remaining 600 points of war merit were exchanged for the seeds of 3 second-level spiritual medicines, Purple Monkey Flower, Kingsand Grass, and Jade Core Flower, to expand the medicine garden. After the exchange, everyone got the resources and happily prepared to return to the family. When leaving the war merit square, Chen Qingyun saw Sun Tai and noticed that he was also exchanging resources. At a glance, Sun Tai exchanged a few bottles of pills, which were probably used to consolidate his cultivation. The purple palace crystal is a good thing, but it is too expensive. Sun Tai alone can accumulate less than 100,000 war merits, which is equivalent to killing 10 golden core demon kings. Without so many war merits, there are only more than 30,000 war merits in hand, so he can only exchange for various kinds of elixirs and talismans. Seeing Chen Qingyun's eyes looking at him, Sun Tai showed a trace of vigilance on his face. Now looking at Chen Qingyun, it's like looking at a killing god, and he is really afraid of being silenced. What's wrong? Noticing Chen Qingyun's eyes, he seemed to be interested in someone. Chen Qingyun looked in the direction of his eyes and saw Sun Tai's group of Lingbao Mountain disciples. Nothing, let's go. Chen Qingyun smiled faintly, took Chen Qingyun and others out of the war merit square, and went straight to the location of the teleportation array. Because many people have taken the teleportation array recently, there has been a long queue here, and they are awaiting patiently. After waiting for more than 2 hours, they entered the teleportation array and teleported to Qingguang Island in the Inner Star Sea with more than 60 Inner Star Sea monks. After being teleported to Qingguang Island between Xumi and Mount Xumi. Because everyone was carrying a lot of good stuff. Not only Chen Qingyun and his group, many of the cultivators who were traveling with them did not intend to leave the island alone. In order to ensure that the participating cultivators could return to their respective homes safely after the war and avoid the evil of killing and robbing treasures. Xingzong had arranged ships on the major teleportation array islands early on, allowing the participating cultivators to take them for free and return to their respective homes. The time for this boat ride depends on the distance and number of people, and it is not uniform. Returning to Lingjian Island, Chen Qingyun and his group followed a group of scattered cultivators from Xingsha Islands and set off together on the same day. While sailing on the sea, some bandit cultivators along the way saw the Xingzong ship and avoided it from a distance, not daring to pay any attention, and even the monsters automatically avoided it. After sailing for more than 10 days, they arrived at Xingsha Islands, and groups of scattered cultivators disembarked. Chen Qingyun and his group were the last group of cultivators to disembark. Originally, he wanted to invite the Xingzong monks to come into the clan and sit down, but they said they had something important to do and needed to escort other Taoist friends back home, so they couldn't delay, so they drove away on the boat. When the Xingzong boat just sailed away, Chen Qingfeng, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others who were waiting at the dock had received the message and were looking forward to welcoming them. Seeing Chen Qingyun and the other 9 people return safely, Chen Qingyun was the first to jump up. Brother. Clan leader. 7th brother. The rest of the people also greeted him with smiles, walked into Lingjian Island together, and rested in the clan hall. This expedition lasted 2 years. Time flies. Chen Qingyun was a little emotional and asked about the general process of this trip. Chen Qingyun pondered for a moment and said, "Why ask this now? Let them have a good rest first. It won't be too late to talk about it when they are free." That's right, I didn't think it through. Chen Qingyun and the others rested for a while, and until the evening, they gathered everyone to chat and talk about the experience and gains of this battle. This chat lasted for more than 2 hours. When they learned that everyone's cultivation had increased significantly. The family had added 3 foundation building cultivators and 2 purple mansion cultivators. Chen Qingyun and the others were shocked and excited. 3 foundation building cultivators, 2 purple mansion cultivators. That means that our Chen family now has a total of 7 foundation building cultivators, 2 purple mansion real people. We have become a purple mansion family. The second purple mansion family in Xingsha Islands. Ha 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 ha, good, very good, very good. The atmosphere seemed particularly pleasant, and everyone had a smile on their faces. From the various dangers experienced during the battle, the ruthlessness of the battlefield, then he sought wealth and honor and danger again and again, accumulated military merits and resources bit by bit, continuously improved his strength, and broke through the bottleneck of cultivation. These sound like they can be summarized in a few words, but the experience is far from being experienced by imagination. After everyone talked about this topic for a while, Chen Xianming began to mention the family's future development plan. "Everyone, I have made 3 plans. Starting from tomorrow, we will carry them out at the same time. Listen to it. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 304, Innate Tao Body. Chen Xianming looked serious and described the 3-step plan. "First, we will set up the soul formation and the soul gathering formation. It will take about 3 years to upgrade the soul vein of Linjian Island to the 3rd grade upper grade to ensure that the family has sufficient spiritual energy supply in the future. Second, expand the medicine garden and properly plant the seeds of red sun fruit trees, spiritual peach trees, spiritual apricot trees, and purple monkey flowers. Wait for the production of spiritual fruits and spiritual medicines next year, and you can speed up the cultivation of cultivators. This is also easy. Third, in the near future, our Chen family needs to hold a big banquet in celebration of the birth of 3 foundation building masters in the family. While building 2 purple palaces, we can also expand the family's external influence, enhance the family's prestige, and boost morale. When it's time to show your sword, you can't hide it, you must show your strength openly. We, the Chen family, should also strive for more resources in the Xingsha Islands. What do you think of the above 3 steps?" After talking about the 3-step plan, Chen Xianming looked at Chen Qingyun and others with a smile, and said, "Those who agree, please raise your hands to vote." "Okay, I agree." Chen Qingyun was the first to raise his hand. "I agree too." "Agree." The 3-step plan was unanimously approved by everyone present. As early as when exchanging resources on Tanning Island, Chen Qingyun and the other 9 had conceived these 3 steps. Now that we are back to the family, we will seek suggestions from other clansmen. Next, Chen Xianming asked about the development of the family in the past 2 years, the various economies, clansmen, cultivators and other details. In the past 2 years, the family has been managed by Chen Qingyun. In terms of family operations, including Chen Qingyun, there are a total of 25 cultivators, 9 of whom participated in the war and 16 stayed. Among them, there are 2 people on Zhenhai Island, 2 on Miwan Island, 1 on Linxai Island, and 1 on Danhong Pavilion in Hufang City. There are 10 cultivators on Linjian Island. These 10 people are responsible for guarding the family, maintaining the family order, and managing the medicine garden, the cultivation of spiritual scallops and spiritual sand white. In fact, life is not easy, and it can even be said to be very busy. Take spiritual scallops and spiritual sand white for example. There are a large number of them to sell every year. In order to maintain sales, they must be delivered to suppliers in time, and some must be transported to the shops in the market for sale. When the family cultivators were all there and had not yet participated in the war, the family already seemed to be a little short of manpower. Not to mention how scarce the manpower in the family would be during the war. After some inquiries, the family's medicine garden, spiritual sand white, and spiritual scallop industries all maintained normal development. It was during these 2 years that Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others were so busy that they wished they had more hands. They often felt that they were too busy to do anything. Chen Xianming guessed this because there were too few cultivators in the Chen family. It was difficult for the mortals in the family to handle these industries. At most, they could just pick up shells or something. The medicine garden was fine. Chen Qinglai was Chen Dalin's disciple and the family's alchemy apprentice. Many spiritual medicines were taken care of by Chen Dalin early on, and he was also told how to take care of them properly. The growth was okay, and it was normal to lose a few plants occasionally. As for the cultivation of the clan members, they stayed in the family for 2 years to practice, with limited resources and busy affairs, so they would not make much progress. Only Chen Qingyun entered the first level of qi refining. But there were 3 surprises here. The first surprise was that the family had 2 talisman makers. A year and a half ago, Chen Nianwei and Chen Nianlong entered the way of talismans and became a first-level lower-grade talisman maker. They have begun to make spiritual talismans for the family and sell them to the outside world. One spiritual talisman can earn 1 to 2 spiritual stones. The family's talisman inheritance was obtained by Chen Qingyun after he killed the evil cultivator of Jian Island. He handed it over to the family for Nianwei and Nianlong to learn. Now, they have finally learned something, which is worth being happy about. The second surprise is the formation. Do you remember that more than 2 years ago, when the Chen family and the Zhang family learned from each other, they sent Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingling to the Zhang family to exchange and learn the formation. This move was made right and there was a gain. After his own efforts, Chen Qingyun has become a first-level lower-grade formation master. He can make many entry-level formations, make money for the family, and make up for the shortcomings of formations. Chen Qingling's comprehension was a little slow, and he is about to enter the way of formations. Alchemist, weapon refiner, talisman maker, array master. The Chen family now has them all, and in the future they can add some other immortal arts, and develop in a better and better direction. The third surprise is even more exciting. Chen Qingyun's cultivation has broken through to the 4th level of qi refining. When hearing this news, not to mention Chen Xianming, even Chen Qingyun was surprised. Because 2 years ago, Chen Qingyun took the infant spirit fruit and just advanced to the 1st level of qi refining. Now in the past 2 years, she has been promoted to 3 small realms in a row and reached the 4th level of qi refining. No matter how good the talent of a cultivator with a heavenly spirit root is, and how fast he cultivates, it is not so exaggerated, right? There is no amazing treasure in the family for her to eat. How did she do this? It's incredible, okay? With this question, Chen Qingyun laughed and explained the reason. Chen Qingyun's physique is a bit special, different from ordinary cultivators. More than a year ago, she had undergone changes that were different from ordinary people. She had a strong affinity for the laws of heaven and earth, which could achieve twice the result with half the effort when practicing. At first, Chen Qingyun wondered if there was something wrong with her body, and felt that the speed of her practice was not right, much faster than before. Moreover, she was sensitive to the spiritual energy of the surrounding heaven and earth, and the natural rhyme of Taoism, as if the heaven and earth had become her mentor, guiding her practice step by step. She was young and didn't understand why this was the case. She was afraid that something was wrong with her practice, so she told Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun listened, and didn't know what was going on. So he took her to find Chen Qingling and others. In the end, in order to find out if there was really anything wrong with her physique, everyone began to read a lot of ancient family books, and finally found the answer. Chen Qingyun awakened a rare physique. Innate Taoism. Only cultivators with heavenly spiritual roots can have this kind of physique, and the chance of awakening is 1 in 10,000. With the qualifications of heavenly spiritual roots, the achievements that can be achieved in the future will at least reach the nascent soul stage. Chen Qingyun is a Yuanying Dao seed. Hearing this, Chen Qingyun, Chen Xianming and others could no longer remain calm, and smiles appeared on their faces. It is really hard to imagine that the Chen family has a natural spiritual root, which is already very exciting. Unexpectedly, now it is even more powerful. Based on the natural spiritual root, a congenital Tao body was born. God bless the Chen family. Chapter 305, Zhuxiantu Banquet. The Chen family of immortals first gave birth to Chen Qingyun, and now, another one, Chen Qingyun, was born. At this moment, several family elders were so happy that they couldn't close their mouths. They called Chen Qingyun forward, as if they were looking at a rare treasure and couldn't let it go. They looked left and right, and wanted to see flowers. Chen Qingyun knew that she was different, and stuck out her tongue at Chen Qingyun. She was very happy and felt that she could finally bring honor to the family. These are the situations worth mentioning in the family. On the second day, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun did not return to Zhenhai Island, but followed the family to set up the Soul Formation and the Soul Gathering Formation. The family still had to hold a Purple Mansion banquet, so it would not be too late to return to Zhenhai Island after the banquet. The 2 Purple Mansion cultivators and the 3 newly added foundation building cultivators would of course show up at the banquet. Chen Qingyun still had about half a year before the return period, so he could continue to stay in the family for a while. Living in the family during this period made him closer to the family. Compared with being in Xingzong, there is a rare sense of warmth and comfort. He decided to stay in the family and go back when Xingzong called him back. Chen Qingyun opened up the Purple Mansion. Such a speed of cultivation was beyond his expectations and made him realize his own shortcomings. Then he should practice well in the family and strive to break through to the middle stage of foundation building as soon as possible. The 2 formations, the Soul Condensing Formation and the Soul Gathering Formation, have relevant layout instructions, not to mention that Chen Qingyun had arranged them himself when he was on Zhenhai Island, so he was already very familiar with them. The layout range of the 2 formations is very large. Most of Lingjian Island needs to be covered by the formation. Everyone worked together and spent half a day to arrange the 2 formations, both of which were built within the Island Protection Formation. Then, everyone spent another day to expand the medicine garden and plant red sun fruit trees, purple monkey flowers and other spiritual trees and medicines. After this, the Chen family began to discuss the location for holding the Purple Mansion banquet. The banquet cannot be held on Lingjian Island for now, let's hold it outside. Chen Xianming made the final decision. It's good that the Chen family has Purple Mansion cultivators, but they are not strong enough to allow cultivators from all directions to gather in the clanland. Sects such as Lingbao Mountain and Xingzong held sect ceremonies and invited powerful people from all directions together. Because of their strong foundation, they didn't worry about anyone taking the opportunity to attack. Several giant and cultivators sat there, and no one dared to move. The location was discussed by several Dao brothers and decided to hold it in the Zhuxian building in Fengrao Market. Fengrao Market is a cultivation market under the Fengrao Chamber of Commerce. It is located in the central area of Xingsha Islands and has a prosperous commercial industry chain. Choosing to hold a banquet there is not only convenient, but also avoids someone deliberately making trouble. The purpose of this banquet is to invite guests from all directions, show off the sword for the family, and establish prestige, but not to give outsiders the opportunity to attack the clanland. When a giant and cultivator is born in the future, we can hold a giant and feast on Lingjian Island with confidence. The clan leader is still thoughtful. Let's hold the Zaifu banquet in Fengrao Market this time. When our family has a stronger foundation in the future and is promoted to a giant and family, we can hold a banquet in the family. Chen Dehai said seriously, looking forward to the future development of the family. The matter of the Zaifu banquet was decided. After selecting an auspicious date, it will be held in a month. In the next few days, Chen Daoran and Chen Daohai went to the Zhuxian building in Fengrao Market and began to reserve seats and make an appointment. The entire Zhuxian building was booked that day. The cost of spiritual stones here is about 3,000. In the past, the family would not be willing to spend so many spiritual stones to hold a banquet. How could they spend money so lavishly? It's different now. This money must be spent. And the banquet must be held more grandly, formally, and lively. This is related to the future development and prestige of the Chen family. Not only should it be announced to the public that the Chen family has given birth to a purple mansion cultivator, it is no longer something that small families like the Zhao family can provoke. Moreover, this is also a move to enhance the confidence of the family members and boost morale. In the next 10 days, the Chen family will be very busy. Even Chen Qingyun himself, in his spare time, also participated in the drafting of the banquet invitation. According to the Chen family's connections, there are actually quite a few families. The best relationship is first of all the Zhang family of Chu Island. The second is the Zhu family of Qingguang Mountain. There are several other families that have some intersections, from Qi refining to foundation building. In addition, since Chen Qingyun was promoted to the Purple Mansion stage on Hunyuan Island, he has become famous and attracted attention from all sides. In the Xingsha Islands, the eyes of the 15 families fell on the Chen family and Chen Qingyun. Some people hate, some love, some are jealous, and some envy. This time, even if the Chen family only wants to invite a few familiar and friendly immortal cultivation families to the banquet, other families, such as the Zhang family of Yanhuang Mountain, will definitely take this opportunity to go to Zhuxian Tower to inquire about the true background of the Chen family and find out the bottom. Instead of doing so, it is better to invite them all openly. Anyway, the strength of the Chen family must be displayed. Fengrao Market belongs to Fengrao Chamber of Commerce, which in turn belongs to the Qi family, and is backed by Xingzong, which is equivalent to Xingzong's own son. If anyone thinks that his life is too long, he can just do it in Fengrao Market and scatter his ashes into the sea. A total of more than 60 invitations were sent out, including one for each of the major immortal cultivation families within the Xingsha Islands. In addition, there are also independent cultivators with a certain status in the surrounding area, and these cultivators will also be entertained. Outside the Xingsha Islands, let's not get involved for the time being. The news can be released, and as for who is willing to come, they are welcome. Time flies, and the day of the banquet is about to begin. The Chen family cultivators headed by Chen Xianming, except for Chen Daohai, Chen Dalin, and even a few of the Nian generation stationed on Lingjian Island. The rest of the family cultivators set off for Fengrao Fang Market and held a banquet in Zhuxian building. On this day, Zhuxian building was decorated with lights and colors, and it was bustling. The entire restaurant was contracted to the Chen family. At the banquet, all kinds of spiritual beasts, rare fruits, and delicious dishes were fully prepared, and there was nothing wrong with it. Chen Xianming, dressed in gorgeous clothes, sat on the first floor, welcoming cultivators from all sides. Among the major families that received the invitation, the Zhang family came early to attend the appointment, bringing some gifts to congratulate, and talked happily with Chen Xianming and others. It is worth mentioning that Zhang Wenhui and Zhang Rin also came together this time. There were a total of 6 people, led by the foundation building cultivator Zhang Tianjin, the 4th elder of the Zhang family. Brother Qingyun, I haven't seen you for a few years. You have entered the Purple Mansion period. Congratulations. Zhang Wenhui stood there pretty. After 3 or 4 years, she has become more and more graceful, with the temperament of a girl next door. However, when facing Chen Qingyun, she could not hide the melancholy on her face. Chapter 306 Zhang Family Provocation. How long ago was it? She still wanted to catch up with Chen Qingyun, hoping that one day, she could look him in the eye, and match him in status and cultivation. As time went by, she felt more and more that the gap between them was getting wider and wider. When Chen Qingyun broke through the foundation building stage, she was still in the Qi refining stage. Then when she opened up the Purple Palace, She was still in the 5th level of Qi refining. Such a huge difference in strength made her feel particularly melancholy. Those who have always wanted to follow in his footsteps are now far ahead. In a few years, they can only look up to him. They are all the same age, and they are only a few years older than her. Why is the gap so different? Facing Zhang Wenhuai's greeting, Chen Qingyun could not see her strange expression, and responded with a slight smile. Well, you are not bad either. You have improved faster than I thought. Ah, really? Hearing this, Zhang Wenhuai, who had originally looked a little depressed, brightened up, as if she had heard something happy, and looked into Chen Qingyun's eyes. Do you think I have made a lot of progress? Yes. Chen Qingyun briefly talked to her for a few words, and soon she regained a lot of confidence. At least, in terms of progress, it was recognized, so all the efforts were worth it. After the Zhang family, the Zhu family and the Liu family also arrived one after another. They were all acquaintances who had fought side by side, such as Zhu Guangshu and Liu Qing. Senior Xianming, Senior Qingyun, we were delayed on the road. Congratulations. Young people are formidable. When we fought together with Senior Qingyun, we were all in the foundation building stage. In the blink of an eye, your cultivation has reached a higher level. Congratulations. Liu Zilin also received an invitation this time. She deliberately put aside the affairs of Zilanshan and the sect and came to celebrate for the Chen family. With her, there was also Zhu Yurong. The presence of Purple Mansion cultivators made the scene more lively and grand. And Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming still became the focus and attracted everyone's attention. In the Xingsha Islands, there are a few Purple Mansion cultivators. Either they are the pillars of the Purple Mansion family, or they are independent cultivators and sect elders who are feared by one side. For the Chen family, it is rare to have a Purple Mansion cultivator in the past 100 years. Amid the hustle and bustle, cultivators came to the banquet one after another, and soon more than 200 people gathered, with cultivation levels ranging from Qi refining to Purple Mansion. All those who received the invitation came. They had to come, and everyone was smart. If they didn't come this time, it would be like leaving the Chen family's face aside and ignoring it. This behavior would make the Purple Mansion family unhappy, let alone the Qi refining family. Anyone who knows a little bit about the ways of the world and is sensible can clearly realize that the current Chen family is no longer the same. In addition to the various military exploits made by the Chen family during the war, these news continued to be transmitted back to the Xingsha Islands. During that period, the Zhang family also deliberately targeted the Chen family, and the matter was exposed and was criticized. In the end, they were severely punished by Master Baiyu, and the Zhang family lost a Purple Mansion and more than 100 clansmen, and the entire army was wiped out on the battlefield. More importantly, Zhu Yurong, a veteran Purple Mansion cultivator from Lingbao Mountain, seems to have a close relationship with the Chen family. Otherwise, why would he stand on the side of the Chen family? It is no secret that Zhu Yurong sent a message to Master Baiyu to punish the Zhang family for the Chen family. You can find out with a little inquiry. On the one hand, the Chen family has 2 Purple Mansions and several new foundation building cultivators. The foundation has been greatly improved and is no longer what it used to be. On the other hand, Zhu Yurong and the Chen family are in the same camp, which means that the 3 Purple Mansion cultivators are twisted into a rope. No one dares to underestimate this foundation. The sky of the Xingsha Islands is about to change. The Zhang family will not be able to jump for long. This behavior of violating the rules of war and harming comrades has chilled and angered countless people. The Zhang family has a bad reputation, acts domineeringly, and likes to take advantage of others. Many people have long been fed up with it and have been gritting their teeth to tolerate it. The Zhang family has lost its reputation, and it is not bad for the Chen family to come from behind. On this day, Chen Xianming kept smiling, his face almost numb from laughing. Before the banquet officially started. After receiving the invitation from the Chen family, the Zhang family also came to the banquet. But there was a bit of gunpowder. The one who came was Zhang Jirui, the Purple Mansion cultivator of the Zhang family, and he brought 6 cultivators with him, including a young foundation-building cultivator named Zhang Jinu. Seeing the Zhang family's camp, everyone realized that the Zhang family came this time to establish their prestige and wanted to compete with the Chen family. After all, the Zhang family was suppressing the rise of the Chen family. Or they had a feud with the Chen family on the Qingguang Island, which led to the annihilation of the participating teams. On the surface, they did not dare to offend the Xingzong, saying that they would correct their mistakes and not repeat them next time. But the Zhang family must have remembered this grudge, even if they were wrong first. Whether the strong dragon can be the local snake, we will have to wait and see. Seeing the arrival of the Zhang family cultivators, Chen Xianming was still in high spirits and greeted them with a smile. Zhang Jirui was a sophisticated person, and he spoke politely and nicely, which made people unable to find fault with him. After congratulating him, he let the younger generation around him speak. Zhang Jin looked like a troublemaker. After he imitated the congratulations with a smile, his eyes began to fall on Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun. He had heard about Chen Xianming, and it was expected that he could break through the Purple Mansion stage, so he could not find any excuse to target him. But Chen Qingyun is different. He is so young and of the same generation as himself. He can reach the Purple Mansion stage. It must not be his own practice. So, he began to point fingers and sneer. I guess this is Chen Qingyun. You and I are of the same age. It is not easy for me to practice to the foundation establishment stage by myself. Unexpectedly, you are even better and can open up the Purple Mansion. I dare to ask, I wonder how many natural treasures, elixirs and other external things you have taken to achieve this achievement. Can you share some experience? The meaning of this sentence is that Chen Qingyun relied on taking elixirs to achieve this achievement. Looking at his high level, he must be strong on the outside but weak on the inside. If he really fights, it is estimated that he is far behind the same level. At the same age, he can't do it himself. How can others do it? He himself is a double spiritual root talent, respected by the family, and has obtained many cultivation resources. As soon as Zhang Jin said this, many people present could tell that he was deliberately looking for trouble, and their faces froze. Zhang Wenhui and Liu Zilin frowned slightly, not happy that Zhang Jin called Chen Qingyun by his name, not even knowing the basic respect and courtesy. Is the Zhang family slapping themselves in the face? In the world of immortal cultivation, the realm gap between cultivators is often reflected in the name. For example, Zhu Guangshu and Liu Heqing, both of whom are old generation foundation building cultivators. Earlier, Chen Qingyun had not yet opened up the Purple Mansion, so it was not wrong to call him a fellow Taoist. Now it is different. When they congratulated him before, they clearly changed the word fellow Taoist to senior. Zhang Jin couldn't possibly not understand this etiquette. He still called him like this, obviously on purpose. For a while, everyone's eyes fell on Chen Qingyun and Zhang Jinu, looking back and forth. They wanted to see whether this matter would be laughed off, or they would have to say a few words to each other and start a fight. Chapter 307. The patrolman arrives. Chen Qingyun's eyes were full of light, and he met Zhang Jin's gaze directly. In this look, there was a surging might, as if a shocking wave would burst out at any time, and he should not be provoked. It was originally to annoy Chen Qingyun. Now that Chen Qingyun looked at him like this, it was as if he was facing an unparalleled god king, and any blasphemy was unforgivable. Zhang Jin couldn't help but feel nervous. He felt an unprecedented fear from Chen Qingyun, and his body subconsciously moved back a step. Noticing the loss of composure of the junior, and being frightened by a look, Zhang Jirui cursed inwardly for being useless, and immediately smiled and said to smooth things over. The junior is young and lacks discipline. I hope Chen Ziyu will not mind. The meaning of this sentence is that he is just a child. What if he said something wrong just now? Don't bother with him. Do you really not care? In front of so many people, he deliberately mocked them. What did he think the Chen family was? Who was he? Chen Qingyun. Not to mention a small Zhang family foundation building. Chen Qingyun dared to fight back against Nangang Ming, who was born with an extraordinary background and a big background, and even Link's Eye of the Phantom Demon Island. There was no intention of letting go, and he did not intend to give the Zhang family this step down. Chen Qingyun's face turned cold and he said in a deep voice, "Since you also said that he lacked discipline and acted without measure, then today, I will discipline him for you." After speaking, Zhang Jirui's expression changed, and he didn't have time to respond. The next moment, he sensed a powerful momentum like a mountain, suddenly emerging from Chen Qingyun. This was the unique pressure of the Purple Mansion cultivation, which turned into a rolling wave and swept towards him and Zhang Jinyu together. Not good. Zhang Jirui cried out in his heart that it was not good. In order to save face, he couldn't hide in public, so he had to bite the bullet and resist. But Zhang Jinyu's cultivation was too low, so he had no ability to fight back. Everyone only heard a plop, and Zhang Jinyu, who was originally standing straight, bent his body and knelt directly towards Chen Qingyun. Seeing this scene, many people looked at each other in surprise. After all, he was a foundation-building cultivator, but this young cultivator of the Zhang family was so spineless that he knelt down in front of Chen Qingyun and performed such a great ceremony. "Jinyu, you." Seeing Zhang Jinyu's virtue, kneeling down in front of everyone, Zhang Jirui felt his face flushed, which was really embarrassing. I. When Zhang Jinyu reacted, he was also dumbfounded. He wanted to stand up quickly, but found that he couldn't move. The pressure released by the Purple Mansion cultivator made him unable to resist at all. He could only continue to kneel on the ground in shame and anger, wishing to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. The faces of several Zhang family cultivators around him were ugly. Some of them held their foreheads with their hands, and some scolded Zhang Jinyu to stand up quickly. But if Chen Qingyun didn't stop, Zhang Jinyu would have a hard time standing up again. Zhang Jirui was so angry that his body was shaking and he regretted it. He shouldn't have deliberately targeted Chen Qingyun just now. Now, he has embarrassed the Zhang family in front of many families and casual cultivators. From now on, the Zhang family will inevitably be laughed at. Zhang Wenhui, Lu Qingfeng and others just felt that this scene was very gratifying. If it weren't for the fact that this was at a banquet and it was not good to provoke conflicts and disturb the interest, they would have wanted to applaud. After more than 10 breaths, when Zhang Jinyu felt ashamed and angry, Chen Qingyun slowly stopped. After all, this was in Fengrao Fang City. It was okay to release His Majesty to suppress it. It was not a big fight or a violation of the rules. The punishment was given to let these Zhang family cultivators remember it well. If it were outside, it would not be as simple as coercion and suppression. "You, disgraceful thing, get up now." Feeling the pressure recede, Zhang Jirui kicked Zhang Jinyu with a look of shame and anger on his face. Zhang Jinyu got up and stood aside without saying a word, not daring to fart again. He dared not look directly at Chen Qingyun. In the pressure he just encountered, he felt a murderous intent, and felt a chill on his back, which was more terrifying than facing a monster. This Chen family's Purple Mansion is far from being as easy to talk to as he imagined, and he must not be provoked. The Zhang family lost face again at the banquet, and how could they stay here and deal with the Chen family calmly? Zhang Jirui looked uncertain, said something to Chen Xianming, and bowed to the monks around him, and then led his clansmen out of the Zhuxian tower in disgrace, walked away, and disappeared. Just when the Zhang family left and the banquet began, the Chen family welcomed the second Purple Mansion monk. This person turned out to be the Star Patrol envoy Long Taifeng. His arrival was beyond the expectations of everyone present. Long Taifeng was a Purple Mansion cultivator of the Qing sect, and he also held the position of Star Patrol envoy. His great power was evident when he was ordered by the Qing sect to go to the major families of the Xingsha Islands to issue a call. Seeing such a big shot coming, congratulating him, and giving him gifts, the Chen family members were secretly puzzled. Did they invite Long Taifeng? No. They couldn't help but look at Chen Qingfeng, only to see that Chen Qingfeng shook his head. Obviously he had not issued an invitation to this sect elder. If the other party can come, then he came by himself, which is a big favor, indicating that he values the Chen family and wants to make friends. For a time, The status of the Chen family in the hearts of the major families and casual cultivators was raised a lot. It doesn't matter if it has an intersection with Lingbao Mountain, and now it has a good relationship with the Xingzong Patrol Star Envoy. The future of the Chen family is extraordinary. Knowing that Long Taifeng came to congratulate sincerely, Chen Xianming and others must be very welcome, and they treated him with good wine and food, and talked and laughed. The banquet lasted for a day and a night. Because of the arrival of the Patrol Star Envoy, Zhuxiantu became the focus of the market. In the evening, Zhuxiantu also specially arranged for cultivators to set off fireworks with fire magic to celebrate, adding to the atmosphere of the banquet, making the atmosphere more lively and grand. This made the news of the Lingjian Island Chen family holding a Purple Mansion banquet in Zhuxiantu spread in the following days, and the cultivators talked about it with relish. The birth of the second Purple Mansion family in Xingsha Islands is a big event, no less than making the entire archipelago tremble. After this banquet, many families, even independent cultivators with some status, need to think carefully about their attitude towards the Chen family in the future. Whether to take the initiative to make friends and stand on the side of the Chen family, or ignore it and continue to follow the lead of the Zhang family and regard it as the first family of Xingsha. This is a question worth pondering. You need to think about it carefully, so as not to be a fence-sitter. If you want to have in-depth exchanges and cooperation with the Chen family, you can start to interact now. Chapter 308 Family Visitors. The banquet ended successfully and the guests left. Chen Xianming, Chen Qingyun, and even Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingfeng, all smiled all day long, and their faces were numb from laughing. The five of them took a break, ate something, and started to gather together to carefully check who the participants were. There were more than 200 people, many of whom were strangers, and it was impossible to know everyone. But since the other party was here, we had to recognize their faces and remember them. In the future, if these people hold a banquet and send an invitation, they will also have to return the gift and attend. Fortunately, every family sent someone to the invitation letter, which is quite rare. I thought some people would be absent and unwilling to come to the banquet. It seems that in the small land of Xingsha Islands, the deterrent power of the Purple Mansion cultivators is still very strong. At least they are willing to give face to attend the banquet. Everyone reviewed the entire banquet today and had some impressions of each family and each casual cultivator. When mentioning Zhu Yurong, Chen Xianming said seriously, "We haven't sent an invitation to Zhu Yurong. She can come today, most likely because of Qingyun's favor." "Yes." Chen Qingfeng nodded, with a smile on his face. "Senior, Zhu can come this time." I also noticed that the guests were talking about our Chen family and Lingbao Mountain being on good terms, and they will gradually get closer in the future. It's like finding a backer in advance. This Senior Zhu is a promising figure. If she achieves the position of Jinan in the future, her position in Lingbao Mountain will be even more difficult. There is no need to say how important a Jinan cultivator is. Looking at the entire Xinghai, they are all top-notch masters, who will attract Xingzong to actively win them over and set up guest elders or patrol star envoys. Well, this time, we didn't send her an invitation letter. We didn't think it through. Chen Xianming smiled bitterly. Senior Zhu shouldn't mind complaining that we didn't even give her an invitation. She helped us back at Xingwen Island. If we knew Zhu Yurong would come on her own initiative, we would have to send her an invitation and hand it to her in person. With Lingbao Mountain as a backer, its own strength is also extraordinary, and it is more powerful than the Zhang family. The eyes of several people all looked at Chen Qingyun. Knowing that Zhu Yurong could come this time, it was really for Chen Qingyun's sake. Zhu Yurong admired Chen Qingyun very much, and even intended to match his disciple Liu Zilin with Chen Qingyun. This point can be seen by anyone with a discerning eye. At the banquet, she did let Liu Zilin get in touch with Chen Qingyun more. It's just that Liu Zilin's personality, well, doesn't like to take the initiative. Chen Qingyun knew the purpose of Zhu Yurong's coming, and making friends with the Chen family was one aspect. On the other hand, he did intend to match him and Liu Zilin. There is no harm in discussing this matter. At this point, Chen Qingyun did not want to say more, and changed the topic. I think the unexpected thing this time is Long Taifeng's side. I didn't expect Xingzong to come to the banquet, and the one who came was a patrolling star envoy. Who of you has a friendship with Long Taifeng? When he said this, Chen Qingyun's eyes couldn't help but look at Chen Qingyun. Don't look at me, it's definitely not me. Chen Qingyun spread his hands, smiled and shook his head. I don't know why Long Xingshi came, but I think he must have seen the potential in you and was worth winning over, so he came all the way here. I think so too. Chen Xianming nodded and said, Zhu Yurong and Long Taifeng are the first to come for Qingyun. Sure enough, in this Xinghai cultivation world, the bigger the fist, the eternal truth. Well, why do I feel that Long Taifeng came here this time to win over Qingyun to join Xingzong? Chen Qingyun pondered for a while and couldn't help but speak. She recalled that at the banquet, when Long Taifeng talked with Chen Qingyun, he intentionally or unintentionally asked about Chen Qingyun's future development. After this, Chen Xianming and others nodded one after another, thinking that it was indeed the case. There must be a purpose, right? The first person in the Chen family who deserves Long Taifeng's attention is Chen Qingyun. Secondly, Chen Xianming, Chen Qingyun and others did not want to talk much, and obviously had no interest in Chen Qingyun. This 20-something middle-stage purple mansion is a popular commodity wherever he goes, and he is worthy of being called a peerless genius. That's for sure. Chen Qingyun said with a serious look. Xingzong has the habit of recruiting strong people to serve as patrolling envoys. I guess Long Xingshi will come to our Chen family again soon. Maybe Qingyun will really be invited to serve as patrolling envoy. On this topic, several people chatted for a few words. The specific situation will depend on the future. In general, it is naturally a good thing that Long Taifeng can come. The current network of the Chen family should also be expanded. The next day, everyone in the Chen family left Fengrao Fang Market and returned to Lingjian Island. 2 steps of the 3-step plan have been completed, and there is still one step to improve the spirit vein. Next, everyone should digest the gains from the battle, practice what they should practice, and retreat. Chen Xianming called everyone together and converted the war merits consumed by everyone into spirit stones, ready to return them one by one. Chen Qingyun harvested more than 60,000 spiritual stones, making a small fortune. The rest of Chen Qingyun and others also received at least 10,000 spiritual stones. Of course, the Chen family cannot afford so many spiritual stones at once, so they can exchange them with family resources or slowly pay them off in the next few years. When repaying, there is a little interest. For example, if you owe 1,000, you can pay 1,100 with an interest of 10%. As for the monster resources, there are not many left, most of which will be used for devouring and practicing. The remaining small part will be made into food for daily consumption by the clan members. In terms of skills, 2 purple mansion skills were brought back. Chen Xianming specially copied a copy of Teiku Ziyuogong for Chen Qingyun. Similarly, Chen Qingyun copied a copy of the skill Zhuangyantu for the family. Both of them need to practice. Finally, it is the foundation building pill. 5 foundation building pills. Whoever can first polish the chi refining stage will be directly allocated 1. The next foundation building cultivator of the family, the one who can build the foundation the fastest, depends on Chen Qingyun. After the meeting, Chen Qingyun took the lead in retreating and counted the number of demon pills. He found that there were 1,021 first-level demon pills, 501 second-level demon pills, and 32 third-level demon pills. These demon pills are enough to impact the late stage of the Purple Mansion. There is no hesitation in retreating. Chen Qingyun released Moling on the same day and let it play on Lingjian Island. He himself began to devour demon pills and entered a long-term retreat. During Chen Qingyun's retreat, Chen Xianming and others on Lingjian Island gradually became busy with cultivation and handling family affairs. The major families in the Xingsha Islands also began to plan to cooperate with the Chen family and establish long-term exchanges. Those who want to make friends will establish friendships between the two families. On the 6th day after the banquet, The first group of guests welcomed by Linjian Island were the family cultivators of the Sicha family of Nanming Island. Chapter 309 Sicha Minayu. The Sicha family sent 3 family elders, Sicha Qingyun, Sicha Qingxiao, and Sicha Qingten, and a young female cultivator, to express their desire to establish long-term trade relations with the Chen family. The Sicha family is a foundation-building family in the Xingsha Islands, located at the southernmost tip of the islands. The family has been established for more than 400 years and is famous for its abundant production of mirage pearls. The family has 35 cultivators, including 3 foundation-building cultivators. They brought mirage pearls this time, expressing their desire to establish long-term cooperation with the Chen family and to sell mirage pearls to the Chen family. Mirage pearls are spiritual pearls bred by a spiritual beast called mirage shells, which have the effect of creating simple illusions. Sichu Ziwai, the founder of the Sicha family, transformed the mirage pearls into a magical instrument through special means and his own refining skills, and named them mirage pearls. The mirage pearl is used as a magic weapon to disguise the aura of a cultivator's cultivation and change his appearance at will, which has a magical effect of confusing outsiders. For example, a young female cultivator of 16 or 17 years old can use the mirage pearl to disguise her own chi refining cultivation as the initial stage of foundation building. She can also change her body shape and transform into the appearance of a white-haired old man, making it difficult for outsiders to distinguish the real from the fake. Although this camouflage effect is invisible in front of high-level cultivators or cultivators who have learned the spiritual light technique, but among cultivators of the same level, it is quite practical. With the help of the mirage pearl, the children of the Sicha family can freely practice and move outside. When needed, they will disguise their body shape and appearance, without fear of provoking enemies and causing trouble for the family. Chen Xianming was very interested in learning about the effect of the mirage pearl. This thing is good. In the future, no matter what difficult problems the family cultivators encounter when traveling outside, they need to hide their origins. Or keep the hematite ore secret, or even the subsequent white stone veins, and let the tribe members disguise and sell the ore, all of which can use this mirage bead. After weighing this resource transaction, Chen Xianming felt that it was feasible and could indeed strengthen the relationship between the 2 tribes, so he nodded and agreed. I think this is feasible, and I won't hesitate. Now that the war is over, all kinds of resources have returned to the daily price, and there is no premium anymore. What is the expected selling price of this mirage bead? The output of the mirage bead of the Sicha family is not large, basically maintaining about 10 per year, and one is worth about 1,500 spirit stones. This thing has no attack or defense effect, and it is completely a niche sales route. The cultivators who need it think it will be a treasure. Those who don't need it will be useless and will not be willing to spend money to buy it. 1. Mirage bead, 1,450 spirit stones. What do you think, Patriarch Chen? 1,014 per bead. There are not many cultivators in our family, so the initial purchase will not exceed 30 at most. Hearing the bargaining chips proposed by Chen Xianming, Sicha Qingyun and the other 2 looked at each other. After a quick discussion, they soon agreed to the deal. Okay. For the Sicha family, it is nothing to earn a few dozen less spirit stones for a mirage bead to establish initial trading relations with the Chen family. According to the current resource opening and development of the Sicha family, there will be more treasures sold to the Chen family in the future. As a newly promoted Zaifu family, it is time to explosively enhance the family's foundation and expand many resource industries. What they are looking at is mainly to establish long-term and stable exchanges and cooperation with the Chen family. In the later stage of maintenance or repair of the mirage bead, it is also necessary to send cultivators to the Chen family to increase the relationship between the cultivators of the 2 families. The first step of cooperation is established, and it will be easier to establish more trade relations later. After the deal was concluded, the 2 sides chatted for a few words and discussed the specific date of purchase. They would not rush at this moment. Then, I wish us a happy cooperation. Sichu Qingxiao smiled slightly. I had a good chat with Senior Chen today. If we can get closer to the nobles, it would be great. Chen Xianmin was an old and experienced man. When he heard this, he felt that the other party was hinting at something. Next, there must be something important to say. So, he glanced at the girl who was sitting beside him and behaved quietly from beginning to end, and said directly, "I don't like to beat around the bush, Taoist fellow King Xiao, please speak up." Ahem, Senior Chen is straightforward. It would be unkind of me to laugh it off, so I'll speak frankly. Sichu. King Xiao first pretended to cough twice, drank a sip of tea, and moistened his throat. Then, he looked at Sichu Minayu beside him and said with a smile, "This is my granddaughter Sichu Minayu, who has 3 spiritual roots of water, gold and wood. She just turned 17 2 months ago. Her cultivation has reached the 5th level of qi refining. She has made some achievements in the way of refining instruments. She is a first-level lower-grade instrument refiner." Sichu. King Xiao began to talk endlessly, introducing his granddaughter in detail. The other 2 clansmen also interrupted from time to time and praised Sichu Minayu. They sang in unison, "What is this for? There is no need to think too much. This is obviously a matchmaking. Looking at Sichu Minayu again, she looks virtuous and dignified, with a pair of autumn-like eyes showing some agility. With careful dressing, the whole person exudes a youthful atmosphere, without the charm of a cultivator showing off her sharpness. On the contrary, people feel that she is slender and weak, like a young lady who has lived in the boudoir for a long time and has never touched the water of spring. At this time, her family was matchmaking her. Her face flushed, she lowered her head and looked at the tip of her shoes that were exposed from her skirt, looking a little shy. Chen Xianmin has encountered many cases of family members being match-made by others. When he was young, he had also been on blind dates, all of which were arranged by the family. Sichu Minayu's qualifications and appearance are really nothing to pick. The Sichu family is willing to use a young descendant with 3 spiritual roots as a matchmaker, which is very sincere. Then, no matter how good the double spiritual roots are, they will be regarded as the cultivation seeds of the family early on, so how can they marry out? In the marriage between families, the female cultivators with poor qualifications are married off first. For male cultivators, if their qualifications are not good enough, they can marry into the family. It is very common for genius descendants to stay in their own family. Chen Xianmin wants Sichu Minayu to marry into the Chen family. It is just right to further strengthen the relationship with the Sichu family. Since the family has become a successful Zaifu family, they still need allies and it is impossible to be a commander without troops. However, next, it depends on whether the Sichu family wants to marry this female descendant or recruit a son-in-law. With this doubt, Chen Xianmin asked immediately, "This girl is good, I think it is feasible, but I don't know what your specific ideas are?" Seeing that there is a chance, Sichu King Xiao immediately smiled and said, "I want Minayu to marry into your Chen family. What do you think, Patriarch Chen?" "Grandpa." Before Chen Xianmin spoke, Sichu Minayu became shy. Finally, she couldn't help but speak and stretched out her hand to pull Sichu King Xiao's sleeve. Her action caused the smile on Sichu King Xiao's face to transfer to Chen Xianmin and others. Chen Xianmin smiled and narrowed his eyes. He had long wanted to add a few descendants to the family, but he still thought about it carefully and didn't rush to agree. "This marriage matter is not decided by me alone, it depends on the opinions of the younger generations in the clan." Taoist King Xiao, which of the king generation disciples in my family have you taken a fancy to? Chapter 310 Water Seahorse. Who is the matchmaker for Sichu Minayu? In fact, a name subconsciously emerged in Chen Xianmin's mind. Sichu King Xiao and the other 2 looked at each other, and with a smile on their faces, they directly reported Chen Qingyun's name. Matchmaker for Qingyun. As expected. Chen Xianmin secretly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. After his cultivation level improved greatly, someone came to send a wife. However, let's not talk about Zhang Wenhui from the Zhang family who was interested in Chen Qingyun. Lingbao Mountain Liuzilin also seemed to have a good relationship with Qingyun, and there was a possibility of further development. Does Qingyun have any intention of getting married? Qingyun probably doesn't like Situ Minayu. In other words, Qingyun probably doesn't have the mind to get married early. He still has a bright future and won't spend too much time on marriage. Whether Qingyun should come to arrange a marriage or not, there is nothing to consider. Chen Xianmin said a few polite words, saying that it depends on Qingyun's own intention. Situ Qingxiao and the others continued to talk with laughter, and the subsequent topics all revolved around Situ Minayu. When dusk came and it was dinner time, Chen Xianming asked the 4 people of the Situ family to stay for dinner and personally summoned Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun didn't know why the old patriarch summoned him, so he temporarily made a mistake and was summoned to the same table with Chen Qingyun and others. At the dinner banquet. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the Situ family tried to matchmake again. As a result, Chen Qingyun politely refused. This made Situ Minayu's cheeks redder, and she stared at the crab in the bowl in a daze. When the old people of the Chen and Situ families present saw that the coal was not going to work, they naturally changed the topic and talked about other things. Until the Situ family left, Situ Qingxiao still remembered Chen Qingyun for a few words, and smiled helplessly. Minayu is indeed not a good match for the noble Qinzi in terms of achievements. Let's just give up on this matter, we are too abrupt. Speaking of this, he laughed again as if he was performing a magic trick. Haha, I have another granddaughter. Although her talent is not as good as Minayu's, she is beautiful and has a very good personality. I think that young friend Chen Qingyun is a good man. Why don't I find him a matchmaker? What do you think? See, Minayu can't be matched with Chen Qingyun, so the Situ family has no intention of continuing. It's better for her to stay in the clan to practice. But there are still ideas for this marriage. If you want to matchmake again, you can only change another girl. It's not necessary for Situ Minayu to matchmake 2 people at the same time. Chen Qingyun, well, I can't make the decision on this matter either, I have to talk to him. Chen Xianmin responded with a smile. As a family foundation building Taoist seed, Chen Qingyun's qualifications are not bad. Whether or not to form a marriage alliance depends on which descendant of the Situ family is the matchmaker. The 2 sides agreed on the next meeting time, and the 4 people of the Situ family set off to leave Linjian Island and return to Nanmin Island. After the Situ family came to cooperate and brought matchmaking, soon, a few days later, another family came to visit. This time, the Zhu family from Qingbo Mountain came, led by Zhu Guangshu, with 2 senior members of the Zhu family. Under the warm reception of Chen Xianming, the 2 sides talked and laughed in the guest hall in a harmonious atmosphere. The Chen family and the Zhu family originally had some intersections, and their relationship was second only to that of the Zhang family on Chu Island. They were old friends. When Chen Xianming was young, he studied beast control in the Zhu family and met several young people from the Zhu family. Now more than 100 years have passed, and 2 of them have become senior members of the Zhu family. Just relying on this friendship between the 2 families, they later fought side by side on the battlefield of the Starsea Monster Tide. The relationship between the 2 families is becoming more and more stable. After a conversation, the Zhu family stated their purpose. They came to deliver a spiritual beast. The spiritual beast was called the Water Seahorse, which was a first-class spiritual beast with wings and could fly into the air, making it very suitable for travel. The water seahorse was docile, fed on corals, kelp, etc., and was easy to tame. The only thing to note is that this kind of spiritual beast was afraid of fire and would be frightened by open flames. The Zhu family had more than 100 years of experience in taming water seahorses, and had long established a complete taming system. From food procurement to horse pen layout, to subsequent leasing or selling, they could all follow suit. This time, the Zhu family planned to give 6 water seahorses, or 3 pairs, to the Chen family for breeding. As long as they were well tamed and no problems occurred, the water seahorses could be multiplied and the population could be expanded. The total price of 6 adult water seahorses was 9,000 spirit stones, which was not a small amount. This time, the Zhu family was willing to spend a lot of money. And if we were to talk about requirements, there were actually some. That is, in the next few years, When the number of seahorses increases, the Zhu family will have to send 1 or 2 cultivators to stay in the Chen family to help take care of the seahorses. The purpose here is actually very clear. It is to let the children of the two families interact more. If they like each other and become Taoist partners, it would be great. Chen Xianming can see this clearly and is eager to see it. The Chen family should also give birth to a few more cultivators to strengthen the family. Time flies, and a month has passed in a blink of an eye. On this day, Chen Qingyun opened his eyes from the state of retreat, and his cultivation bottleneck was broken through, reaching the late stage of the Purple Mansion. This increased the strength of his spiritual consciousness to a radius of 12,000 meters. The number of magic weapons that can be controlled has increased to 50, which is the number that can be controlled at the same time. Feeling the breakthrough in strength, Chen Qingyun's eyes flashed with brilliance, and he took out some magic weapons accumulated on his body and began to decompose them. After decomposing several magic weapons and more than 100 magic weapons, some damaged and some intact, he began to strengthen the magic weapons. The only foundation building puppet on his body was continuously strengthened to the second level top grade. Then, Chen Qingyun refined 5 element puppets, strengthened them, and fused them, and then obtained another foundation building peak puppet. The next step of fusing magic weapons was to fuse a new type of puppet first. In the selection of magic weapons, he finally picked up a trident. This thing is called the Sea God Trident, and it is the same kind of magic weapon as the Sea God Trident that was previously obtained from the Purple Mansion Mermaid Witch, with the same name. The difference is that this one did not reach the level of magic weapons. It was obtained by Chen Qingyun from a second-level mermaid witch when he was fighting in Liaoyan Islands. There are 2 magic weapons with the same name, so fuse one. The second-tier Seagad Trident was fused with 2 foundation building puppets. Seagad, puppet, early stage of Purple Mansion. Can control the power of the ocean, with more powerful water attribute power. The introduction of the new puppet was very simple. It was a new type of puppet suitable for ocean combat. Compared with the 4 puppets of Bang, Jiuyu, Xianjian and Zhuanwu, its characteristics were very obvious. The strengthening points began to be smashed, and the Seagad puppet was continuously upgraded to the level of the best magic weapon, reaching the peak strength of Purple Mansion. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 311 Continuous Advancement. Now, with the 5 saints by his side, he has reached the late Purple Mansion stage. Not to mention the cultivators of the same level. Now, even if he confronts the peak Purple Mansion cultivator head-on, he is sure to kill him. Strengthening points, 12. There are not many strengthening points left, so Chen Qingyun stopped and got up and left the retreat room. After Chen Qingyun came out of retreat, Chen Xianming came to find him. When he learned that his cultivation had improved greatly, his eyes were all smiling. Late Purple Mansion stage, good, good. In the following days, Chen Qingyun stayed in the family for a few more days, often accompanied Chen Qingyun in cultivation, and guided her in her doubts about cultivation. When deciding to return to Lingjian Island, Chen Xianming suggested that it would be better to take Chen Qingyun to Zhenhai Island for cultivation. Such a cultivator with a natural spiritual root, who also has an innate Taoist body, if someone is most needed to guide his cultivation, it must be the one with the highest cultivation in the family. Who has the highest cultivation? Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun did not refuse the old patriarch's proposal. Chen Qingyun was a little happy to learn that she was going to take Qingyun to live on Zhenhai Island. The island would gradually become lively. The 3 of them set off together. It was already afternoon when they arrived at Zhenhai Island. When they saw Chen Nianlong and Chen Qinglai, the 2 had been waiting early. During the war, the 2 of them were responsible for guarding Zhenhai Island and simply maintaining the mining of hematite and the operation of the refining workshop. It is not easy to do these things well, and you have to take time to practice. This time, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun were able to return, which made them feel relieved. They also secretly admired that it sounded easy to guard Zhenhai Island on a daily basis, but it was not easy to do it in practice. Recently, Chen Xianming had already informed them of a series of actions and three-step plans of the family. Among them, they were also very excited when they learned about the good news that 3 foundation building and 2 purple mansion cultivators were born in the family. The family is developing better and better, and a sense of pride arises spontaneously. According to the family's arrangement, Chen Nianlong and Chen Qingyun had to set off to return to Lingjian Island the next day to continue to study talismans and alchemy in the family. They told Chen Qingyun and the others all the matters about the hematite mine and the weapon refining workshop in the past 2 years. What they had experienced and the amount of resources they had eradicated were all told in detail. There were no major problems, but there were inevitably a few minor problems. For example, the mining efficiency of hematite was not as efficient as when Chen Qingyun was in charge. When the weapon refining workshop produced hematite swords and tortoise-shell shields, they often went to supervise in person, and the production efficiency was not affected. As for the spiritual fields and the green-tailed spiritual fish, there was a surprise here. First, the spiritual fields. According to Chen Qingyun's idea, Chen Nianlong and the others would not farm and had never done such things, so they must be very unfamiliar. What was surprising was that under the smiling leadership of Chen Nianlong and the others, when Chen Qingyun saw the golden spiritual fields, he was surprised. Originally, there were 4 mu of spiritual fields, but now, they have expanded to 6 mu, and the spiritual rice is growing very well, and it is almost ready for harvest. They not only take good care of the spiritual fields, but also expand the scale of spiritual field planting on this basis. This is worthy of praise. Then, in Yunbo Lake, the number of blue-tailed spiritual fish has increased by 12. This kind of spiritual fish lays eggs once a year, and the fertility rate is not high. In 2 years, 12 new fish fry can be added, which is very good. After explaining all these, Chen Nianlong and Chen Qingyun set off and returned to Lingjian Island. The news of Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun's return will soon spread on the island in the next few days, causing a group of Chen family mortals to be delighted. For them, the strength of Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun is not the focus of their attention. The point is that the two can return safely, which is worth being happy about. Although the matter of the star sea monster tide is rarely circulated in the mortal world, however, as a mortal of the family, he still knew something about Chen Qingyun and the other 9 people's actions of following the war and guarding the star seed. After returning to Zhenhai Island, Chen Qingyun continued to practice hard. After reaching the late stage of the Purple Mansion, it would be a long process to practice and increase the cultivation through meditation. Chen Qingyun simply put a lot of thoughts on the practice of skills and refining. It is worth mentioning that after reaching the Purple Mansion stage, with the rapid improvement of the strength of the soul and the leap-forward growth of the divine mind, this has a huge feedback effect on refining. Chen Qingyun originally stayed at the first grade upper grade refining attainment. Due to the explosive growth of the divine mind, it is extremely easy to master the higher grade and more profound array pattern engraving. It only took 3 or 4 days to thoroughly master the basic array patterns from the first grade to the second grade. It is hard to imagine that the refining attainment has directly broken through from the first grade upper grade to the second grade level. If one continues to study and comprehend in daily life, constantly consumes refining materials, and comprehends the array pattern, it will take at least 10 years. Now, the achievement is still due to the improvement of the soul and the reward effect brought by it. Compared with alchemy, the refining method of refining is different, and the emphasis is on the engraving of the array pattern. This is a great test of the strength of the soul and the ability to control the mind. Chen Qingyun has improved his mind by a large margin, and then mainly studies the engraving of the array pattern, so he has avoided many detours. It is like going straight to the point, a road leading directly to Rome. Of course, the advancement is rapid. This is the growth of the weapon refining technique. Chen Qingyun took out the long-standing earth fire purple gold copper in his hand, and refined them, and produced 2 first-level top-grade magic weapons. One is a purple gold flying needle, a total of 9, each with extremely strong penetrating power. This needle can restrain the defensive shield light of the Qi refining monk, and play an unexpected effect of defeating the enemy. The other one is a control magic weapon, the flame red silk, which can play a similar effect to the chain. The material is both hard and soft, and can be large or small. Chen Qingyun has already thought about who these two new magic weapons will be used for. It is prepared for King Luan to improve her strength. Not only that, Chen Qingyun has another idea. That is to refine a three-flower spirit gathering platform for King Luan. Due to the lack of refining materials, he flew away from Zhenhai Island and went to several major markets such as Hia, Xinglin, and Fengrao to purchase materials. It took more than a month to finally gather the materials. In the end, with sufficient materials, 2 three-flower gathering spirit platforms were produced. When refining, Chen Qingyun had already thought about sending some equipment to Chen Qingyun. Without the fifth sister giving him the 5 elements puppetry technique, there would be no achievements today. A drop of water should be repaid with a spring. On Chen Qingluan's side, the little girl obtained the purple gold flying needle, the flame red silk, and the 3-flower gathering spirit platform, all of which are first-level top-grade products. Qingyun's side is the 3-flower gathering spirit platform, which has been refined to the second-level top-grade level. As for the spirit tree and the spirit wood essence, the effect they can have is at most on the foundation-building cultivators. Chen Qingyun is now taking the spirit wood essence, and the effect of extraction is not great, so in the future, it will be given to Qingyun and King Luan. More than a month passed. One day, Chen Qingyun received a message from his family. He opened it and found that it was a summons from Chen Xianming. Chapter 312 Fighting for the Mineral Vein. In the past, when Chen Qingyun was summoned, it was because the family was going to hold a family meeting to discuss important matters. Other members of the family would also be summoned to the meeting. Now, Chen Qingyun has made great progress and has become the strongest person in the family. When Chen Xianming is undecided and needs to deal with some important matters, he will start to refer to Chen Qingyun's opinions. In this regard, Chen Daoran and others think it is normal. As a family elder with high cultivation, Chen Qingyun needs to discuss matters with him, which are definitely not something that ordinary members of the family can solve. The Chen family has a harmonious and friendly family style, and they often help each other, let alone let Chen Qingyun decide the family's development. Even if Chen Xianming abdicates and lets Chen Qingyun become the patriarch, they can all agree with both hands and feet. After notifying Qingyun and King Luan, Chen Qingyun set off alone to return to Lingjian Island. After arriving at the family, they waited in the hall for a while, and then Chen Xianming showed up with Chen Daoran, Chen Dalin and other family members who had built their foundations, and explained the purpose of the summons. Qingyun, this matter still needs your participation. The Yang family sent a message in the past 2 days. In order to avoid more trouble, they want to invite us to take action in the near future and take the white stone vein into our pockets. After returning from the battlefield, the major families need to rest for a few months to digest the resources and elixirs they earned. Now that more than 3 months have passed, the various elixir resources have basically been digested. Only a few cultivators need to retreat for a long time and are still practicing. Ever since Chen Qingyun learned about the white stone vein from Yang Ziwei, he has kept it in mind. He thinks it is indeed a good time to take action now, and he can't keep delaying. After learning the reason for the matter, Chen Qingyun nodded and spoke. Is the Yang family ready? I think we can't just rely on our Chen family for this matter. Since they want to divide some benefits, they should send some people to help. When Chen Qingyun thought of this, Chen Xianming couldn't help but show some appreciation, and said with a smile, "Haha, you have grown up a lot in these years, and you can think of this. This time, the Yang family will naturally need to contribute, and it is really impossible for only our Chen family to do the work." The old patriarch said to Chen Daoran, "Daoran, you have been in contact with the Yang family in recent days. Tell me the details." "Okay." Chen Daoran took a sip of hot tea, moistened his throat, and began to speak slowly. "For the past half-month, I have been discussing the white stone vein with the Yang family on behalf of the family. I originally wanted to start earlier, but it just so happened that Yang Yuanling's cultivation had reached the great perfection of the qi refining stage, and he just needed to impact the foundation establishment stage. The Yang family participated in the war this time, and exchanged a foundation establishment pill with the power of the entire family. Yang Yuanling began to retreat with this foundation establishment pill, and after more than 20 days of retreat, he finally established his foundation as he wished. Now, with the foundation establishment cultivator in charge, the Yang family has more confidence, so they began to urge us to start earlier and not delay any further. This time, Yang Yuanling will personally lead 9 Yang family cultivators to participate. For us, they hope that a Purple Mansion cultivator will take action. Chen Daoren introduced who Yang Yuanling was specifically. This person is the current patriarch of the Yang family. He is 59 years old and happened to build his foundation before the age of 60. The success of this foundation building made the Yang family feel relieved and happy. As for Yang Yuanling's talent, Chen Daoren had carefully investigated it. This person has 3 spiritual roots and mainly practices gold-attributed techniques. His talent is similar to Chen Changfeng's, but his cultivation achievement is a little worse. After all, Chen Qingyun built his foundation more than 10 years earlier than Yang Yuanling, and he is much younger. He will achieve higher achievements in the future. Well, the Yang family is willing to let the only foundation building cultivator lead the team, so the manpower is okay, which is considered sincere. Chen Qingyun pondered for a moment and continued to ask, what about the white stone vein? What is the specific situation now? There is only 1/3 level water toad beast. More than a year ago, when Xingguang Island and Yangzaiwai mentioned the white stone vein, there was only 1/3 level water toad beast, which reached the early stage of the Purple Mansion. Now that more than a year has passed, the enemy's strength has developed to what extent, and it must be asked clearly. Chen Qingyun will not do it without knowing the root and the bottom. Well, according to the news brought by the Yang family, there is a 3rd level water toad beast, which is still in the early stage of the Purple Mansion. The only change is that 2 water toad beasts of the 9th level of qi refining have been added. Well, there is only 1 water toad beast in the Purple Mansion period, so it's not a big problem. I can deal with it. Chen Qingyun said lightly, looking at Chen Xianmin and others. The family means that they want me to take action this time. You guessed it right, that's it. Chen Daoren nodded and smiled. We all know that you have many means and a solid foundation. It will be effortless to deal with a demon beast in the early stage of the Purple Mansion. It just so happens that this time, I will trouble you to go. Yes, Qingyun, you have worked hard. Chen Xianmin opened his mouth and said, after the matter is done, the family will not treat you unfairly. The family can divide 70% of the profits from the white stone vein occupied by the family and give you 10%. What do you think? Okay, I'll go. Okay, Qingguang and Qingyin will go with you this time. Just treat it as an experience. It just so happens that they are short of some monster resources recently, and Qingyin is about to build a foundation. No problem for me. I will listen to the family's arrangements. Chen Qingyun nodded and said, if Qingyin can gather the resources needed for foundation building through this operation, it will be great. After a quick discussion, they prepared on the same day and reported the action plan back to the Yang family. The next day, Chen Qingyun took Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyan out of Lingjian Island and headed towards Hongshan Island. Hongshan Island is located in the southern part of Xingsha Islands, more than 20,000 miles away from Lingjian Island. Driving the Panlong, the 3 arrived at Hongshan Island a day later. As a new foundation building family in Xingsha Islands, the development history of the Yang family is much shorter than that of the Chen family. It has only been more than 150 years since the establishment of the family. In terms of strength, it is not as deep as the Chen family. But in terms of bloodline strength, it is better than the Chen family. Yang Zhuanzai, the ancestor of the Yang family, was a dual spiritual root, He was born as a casual cultivator, and his parents were also casual cultivators. He realized from a young age that cultivation was not easy. After advancing to the 9th level of qi refining, he was already 66 years old. He knew that he had no hope of building a foundation, so he took in many wives and concubines and established the Yang family. Under his dual spiritual root bloodline inheritance, several immortal cultivators were born in the family, including one with dual spiritual roots. This laid a good foundation for the Yang family in the early days. This was Chen Qingyun's first time to Hongshan Island. Chapter 313 Hongshan Island. Before setting off, Chen Qingyun learned some basic information about the Yang family from his family. Up to now, the Yang family has only been passed down for more than 100 years. After Yang Xuanzai passed away, the Yang family bloodline was still at its peak and showed no signs of decline. The Chen family speculated that the Yang family must have a double spiritual root fairy seedling now, but for protection, they did not leak the secret to the outside world. When they stepped onto Hongshan Island, they could see the existence of a town on the island. From the scale of the town, it is much larger than Linxi County, and the number of mortals has reached more than 30,000. It is hard to imagine that in just over 150 years, the Yang family would have reproduced this number of people. In terms of the proportion of cultivators, the Yang family now has 36 cultivators, and the probability of the birth of fairy seedlings is almost 3,000 to 1, which is not low. The blood concentration of the Yang family is so good. If it were not for the lack of resources, they would have developed into a foundation-building family long ago, and why would they wait until now? Chen Qingyun said lightly, remembering the situation when he had contact with the Yang family cultivators before, and had some good feelings for this family. Yes, after all, their ancestor has dual spiritual roots. Although his cultivation is average, his aptitude is very good, and he is willing to marry and have children. These 10 children were born, and at least one of them has inherited the aptitude of immortal seedlings. The chances of the younger generation giving birth to spiritual roots are very high. That is to say, our family, especially our Qing generation cultivators, have not yet married and had children. As for the Nyan generation cultivators, they are still too young. Chen Qingyun sighed, it would be strange if there were many cultivators in the family. The new cultivators of the Chen family were all discovered in Linxi County. Those mortals have cultivator blood flowing in their veins, but the chances of giving birth to immortal seedlings are very small. For example, there are only 9 cultivators with spiritual roots who have entered the family tree in the Qing generation, and none of them are married. The last 2, King Luan and Qin Yang, are still children, and it is still too early for them to get married. As for the Nyan generation cultivators, there are now a total of 4 people, namely Nyan Wei, Nyan Long, Nyan Shang, and Nyan Xia. Among the 4 Nyan generations, except Nyan Wei who was born on Lingjian Island, the other 3 were all born in Linxi County. As for the family cultivators, the Qing and Nyan generations have not yet married. Including the oldest Qing generation Chen Qingyun. He is not yet 30 years old. As a cultivator, it is not too late to get married in his 40s or 50s. There are many foundation-building cultivators who get married when they are over 100 years old. If the Chen family wants to grow and develop, they must first have more children to expand the population and give birth to more cultivators. Whether it is marriage between families, finding independent cultivators, or sectaoist partners, it is feasible. Only with a large population base and a considerable number of cultivators, the family will grow and prosper step by step. Otherwise, it will gradually decline. There are many families that disappeared in the world of immortal cultivation, and many of them died out by themselves. If the Chen family does not want to follow in the footsteps of these defeated families, it needs to find a way to increase the number of cultivators and then focus on the cultivation of backbone bloodlines. This is the way to development. Survival is the first element of development. After knowing the family's development path, Chen Qingyun and the other 2 chatted for a while and began to go deeper into the island. Soon they came to the outside of the formation and sent a message to the Yang family monks. After the message was sent, It took only a while for the formation to open, revealing the island environment inside the formation. Yang Ziwei brought more than a dozen family monks to greet them enthusiastically. After several polite exchanges, the two sides walked towards the reception hall on the island. Along the way, Chen Qingyun took care of this emerging family. The reason why Hongshan Island has this name is that Chen Qingyun understood the meaning after walking a distance. Looking around, there are many red corals growing. These corals are very strange. They are not all grown in the ocean, but belong to land plants. In clusters of red corals, there are wisps of spiritual energy. Although these spiritual energy are not much, they can only maintain the practice of the 6th level cultivators at most. But this attracts many small creatures such as birds, shells, crabs, etc. to live in it. One of the industries of the Yang family is the habit of refining pills with red corals. It can refine a first-grade mid-grade red jade pill, which has the effect of clearing the mind and calming the heart, reducing the risk of going astray, and can be used in conjunction with spiritual cultivation techniques. The Yang family can earn more than 900 spiritual stones every year by planting red corals and refining red jade pills. This is more profitable than the Chen family's spiritual scarlet farming. The major immortal cultivation families in Xinghai have more or less some unique resource industries, such as the Zhu family's spiritual pills, beast-controlling pills, etc. Under the leadership of Yang Ziwei, everyone entered the reception hall of the clan and sat down as guests and hosts. After the reception process of spiritual fruits and spiritual tea, Chen Qingyun went straight to the point. Senior Yang, we came here this time for the white stone ore. I believe my grandfather Daoran has already told you the situation. Yang Ziwei had already received a reply from Chen Daoran, explaining which cultivators the Chen family would send and how strong the team was. He smiled and nodded. I know. Senior Daoran has already told us that your presence here will bring honor to our Yang family. Senior Qingyun, you call me senior, which really makes me feel that I am taking advantage. If you don't mind, just call me by my name. He followed Chen Qingyun's words and flattered him a few times. He knew how to address people with different strengths, and then began to introduce the Yang family cultivators around him. There were 8 people in total, and their cultivation was between the 4th and 8th levels of qi refining. According to the Yang family's plan, they will send out 10 cultivators, including Yang Ziwei. There is another one who is not present, Yang Yuanling. This time, he will lead the Yang family to deal with most of the water toad beasts. After explaining a few words, Yang Ziwei showed a serious look. Although we have the majority in terms of numbers, the main force is still you. This operation still needs the help of the 3 seniors to fight against the most difficult water toad beast, so this time it will be hard for the 3 seniors. Okay, since we are here, we will do our best. You don't have to worry about anything. Chen Qingyun went straight to the point and asked. Okay, now, tell us in detail about the specific situation of the group of water toad beasts, how many there are, and how much information do you have? More than 2 years have passed, and the Chen family doesn't know much about the specific situation of the white stone vein. Although the Yang family has already explained how many water toad beasts there are and how strong they are in the previous few days of communication, however, as a group of demon beasts, their strength is not constant and may change at any time. For example, a few of them may be lost, or their strength may be greatly improved. Now, before deciding to take action, it is always a good idea to study the details. Yang Ziwei glanced at everyone in the family, then looked at Chen Qingyun with a serious look, and began to speak slowly. Then, let me talk about the situation of the white stone vein first. Chapter 314. Spiritual Book. The area where the white stone vein is located is on the seabed. We will temporarily call that sea area the White Sea. It is about 3,000 miles away from us. We were able to discover this white stone vein by chance, and this is the first time we have decided to get involved in the seabed vein. So, if we want to do it, we must first dive into the sea, and we need to fight with a group of water toads in the sea. Yang Ziwai's words did not make Chen Qingyun and the other two feel that there was anything difficult. In the world of cultivating immortals, apart from those on the islands, most of the veins are located on the seabed. For example, the earth fire purple gold copper vein controlled by Hunyuan Island, or the Xinyuan stone vein under Xingzong, are all born in the deep and vast ocean. In terms of resource content, the resources on the seabed are richer than those on land, and they are countless. But because of the rampant monsters in the sea, the deeper you dive, the greater the water pressure, and you need strong strength as support to have the capital to explore. Therefore, it is not easy for a force or cultivator to discover and control the seabed mineral veins. Chen Qingyun had heard that there were countless treasures and opportunities in the sea, and it was a huge treasure house. But if we really talk about exploring the seabed and searching for treasures, he must have done it. It's just that he didn't find any opportunities. The Yang family was lucky this time and was able to discover a white stone vein. You all know that the grade of this white stone vein has reached the second grade lower grade, but this was more than 2 years ago. As Yang Ziwai talked about this, his expression changed and he showed a bit of excitement. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun's expression changed and he asked, "Oh, has the grade of the white stone vein been upgraded?" Ha ha ha, Senior is smart, it is true. After more than 2 years, the grade of the white stone vein has been promoted to the second grade middle grade under the continuous nourishment of heaven and earth, and can produce white stone with better quality. Yang Ziwai laughed and flattered whenever he had the chance, fearing that he would anger Chen Qingyun by saying something wrong. To be honest, Senior, we have a magic weapon called the spiritual book, which can be used to detect the level of spiritual objects, the strength of living beings, etc. The group of water toad beasts and even the white stone veins are accurately detected by the spiritual book, so there is no error, you can rest assured about this. Chen Qingyun was a little interested in the magic weapon of the spiritual book, but it was not the time to ask more questions at this moment, so he just nodded slowly and continued to listen. Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingyun, who were on the side, also listened quietly at this moment, without any intention of speaking. The few people only heard Yang Ziwai continue to say, "There are a total of 133 water toad beasts living in the mine, 1 of the 3rd level, 2 of the 2nd level, and the rest are all of the 1st level. In terms of the number of tribes, with the great assistance of the 3 seniors, we can win 133 water toad beasts." Chen Qingyun narrowed his eyes calmly after hearing this. This is the same information given by the Yang family before. However, problems also arise. The Yang family's request to the Chen family is to send out a purple mansion cultivator, and they don't care if they send other cultivators to participate. They themselves sent out 10 cultivators, 1 foundation building cultivator and 9 chi refining cultivators. This lineup has a small number of cultivators, but with Chen Qingyun's participation, this group of water toad beasts can be easily eliminated. But think about it carefully. The Chen family sent out the purple mansion period forces, which will definitely make great efforts in the battle, and even help the Yang family to clean up the remaining water toad beasts later. As for the Yang family, they seem to be just playing a supporting role, and when the mineral vein is obtained later, they will take 30% of the profits. It is true that the mineral vein was discovered by the Yang family. The imbalance lies in the number of cultivators dispatched by the Yang family and their attitude towards this matter. What made Chen Qingyun frown even more was that until now, the head of the Yang family, Yang Yuanling, has not appeared. Do they take this matter seriously? Seeing that the 3 people from the Chen family did not speak, Yang Ziwai was about to continue talking, when a figure hurriedly came from outside the hall. Speak of the devil, and the devil will appear. This person was Yang Yuanling, the head of the Yang family. After learning that the Chen family had sent a purple mansion cultivator to come, he immediately put aside the affairs in the family market and rushed back to the family without stopping. Yang Yuanling naturally apologized for not receiving him in person before, and came only now, fearing that he would offend the Chen family. The Yang family didn't expect that Chen Qingyun and the other 2 would act so quickly. They said they were ready to come the day before yesterday. As a result, They arrived today. If it were the Yang family, it would take at least 3 days to get up and go to Lingjian Island. The Chen family is quite efficient. At this moment, Chen Qingyun was dissatisfied. From the perspective of the family, the head of the Yang family did not come out to greet them before, which was impolite. Even if the Yang family's attitude was good, the prestige of the Chen family still needed to be established. So, Chen Qingyun's face froze and he spoke. Head of the Yang family, we don't have any friendship. This time we can come to help because we are interested in the benefits of the mineral vein. We can admit this openly. At this point, Chen Qingyun emphasized his tone. If your family doesn't take this action seriously, is unwilling to make more efforts, and only wants to rely on us, what kind of reason is this? Of course there are third-level monsters, and you can't deal with them. You invite us to cooperate. My Chen family agrees to help. I will also follow the family's arrangement and come to help. You just said that there are 133 water-toad beasts. At present, the number of cultivators we dispatched is 13. The difference between these cultivators and the group of water-toad beasts is huge. I wonder what Chief Yang thinks? Chen Qingyun's words made everyone in the Yang family look at each other in surprise. They all fell silent for a while, and they all felt powerless to refute. As a Purple Mansion cultivator, Chen Qingyun could easily wipe out this group of water-toad beasts by acting alone. However, this time it is about cooperation between the two families, not a one-on-one fight. Chen Qingyun will not lower himself to deal with those first-level monsters. When Xingzong was fighting, the giant and cultivators disdained to deal with third-level monsters, and their target was only the fourth-level monster king. Chen Qingyun came on behalf of the Chen family. He would not act recklessly just for some monster resources, and would not let others think he was a hungry wolf, right? More importantly, the more effort you put in, the more resources you will get. Even though the Yang family only occupied 30% of the White Stone Vein's income after the matter was completed, it didn't look like much, far less than the 70% of the Chen family. But to be honest, if you want to occupy all the income, Chen Qingyun can completely annex or even eliminate the Yang family. Or, the Chen family is unwilling to help, and the Yang family can only sigh in despair when looking at this White Stone Vein, and has no ability to get involved. For example, the Yang family has 36 cultivators in the family, but now only 10 are dispatched, less than 1/3 of the strength, which is a bit unreasonable. In the end, whether everyone will take action, or Chen Qingyun will come to kill everyone, the Yang family still has to make a good show, and can't be stingy. Send more people. Don't be so petty. Among the cultivators present, who can't hear the meaning of Chen Qingyun's words. Even Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun felt that the Yang family's actions this time were inappropriate and they were indeed too dependent on them. You are right. I was not thoughtful enough. Yang Yuanling smiled bitterly and took the lead in breaking the awkward atmosphere. So, senior. What do you mean? Chapter 315 Undersea Combat. Yang Yuanling did not say what he thought, but asked Chen Qingyun what he thought. The old man is still the best. Chen Qingyun had no reason to hesitate, and immediately responded, it's very simple, you can add more people and send the 30 most powerful cultivators in the clan, and the rest of the people will stay in the family. This. Hearing Chen Qingyun's request, Yang Yuanling couldn't help but groan and looked embarrassed. Just when he wanted to say something else, whether he could reduce the number of people, and send 20 people would be fine. At this time, Chen Qingyun continued. You invited my Chen family to send a purple mansion, and now, I have also brought an additional foundation building and a 9th-level qi refining, so that we can have more people to help each other and carry out the operation. As long as there are more people, it will be more convenient to encircle and suppress the water-toad beasts, protect the mines, and rescue the wounded. What do you think, Patriarch Yang? Chen Qingyun's words immediately made Yang Yuanling speechless, and the other Yang family cultivators also thought it made sense. Originally, they thought that sending 10 cultivators out was enough. After all, Chen Qingyun was the leader. Let alone more than 100 monsters, even if there were 400 or 500, they would have the strength to kill them. Now think about it more. It is indeed better to send more people. Fighting against a group of monsters is not a joke. If you can go all out, you will be much safer. The discussion ended here, and the Yang family agreed to Chen Qingyun's request. The next step was to discuss the specific matters. That afternoon, they organized their personnel and boarded the Panlong together, heading towards the White Sea. The distance of more than 3,000 miles was soon reached. Arriving at the White Sea area, Yang Yuanling took out 3 water-repellent beads and called on the monks in the clan to obey the order and act collectively. On Chen Qingyun's side, Yang Yuanling didn't know if Chen Qingyun had a way to avoid water and dive, so he couldn't help asking a few questions. Chen Qingyun had a 5-element puppet, and a little water attribute power could achieve the same effect as the water-repellent beads. Moreover, with his cultivation and physical strength, he could reach the white stone vein. Yang Yuanling had no idea about the power of the Purple Mansion monks, and he didn't know how powerful Chen Qingyun's methods were. He briefly introduced the difficulty of fighting in the sea. The entire white stone vein is located on the seabed mountain range, more than 1,000 meters from the sea surface. Mortals don't need to try this depth. Yang Yuanling described his battle plan. 3 water-repellent beads each protected 11 cultivators, including Chen Qingyun and the other 2. When cultivators fight in water, especially those with fire attributes, they will be affected to some extent and cannot exert their full strength. Their combat capabilities are far inferior to those on land. The function of this water-repellent bead is to form a bubble-like space around it after it is deployed. This space can isolate the cultivator from the surrounding seawater, as if it is a small world of its own. Under this water-repellent effect, the cultivator can cast spells and move around on a daily basis. However, a cultivator needs to be assigned to cast spells and control the water-repellent bead continuously. This water-repellent bead is very common in the world of immortal cultivation and is not a rare item. After learning about the Yang family's idea, Chen Qingyun nodded slowly. This method is okay. Why not let Qingguang and Qingyun team up with you? I can dive alone, and I will deal with the Purple Mansion water-toad beast. Okay, let's do as you say. Yang Yuanling smiled and followed Chen Qingyun's arrangement. He began to ask everyone to divide into 3 teams, with 10 people led by himself, 10 people led by Chen Qingyun, and 9 people led by Chen Qingyun. The 3 teams will use water-repellent beads and launch joint operations to eliminate the water-toad beasts in the mines after entering the seabed. If they need to disperse to fight, it will not be too late to spread out at that time. In short, the battle is very flexible. For Chen Qingyun, it is much simpler. He used the Purple Mansion shield light to wrap his whole body with magic power, so that he could come and go freely in the water. After the group was ready, under the leadership of Chen Qingyun, they put away the Panlong and began to dive into the sea. Chen Qingyun held a seagate trident in his hand, explored at the front, and used his divine sense to carefully scan the area. He soon found the location of the white stone vein. In a huge seabed mountain range, it can be vaguely seen that the terrain of a part of the mountain range is particularly different, and the color is obviously deeper. From a distance, it looks like a dragon is entwined on the mountain range. According to his powerful divine sense, Chen Qingyun found that the dragon-shaped vein did contain the second level medium-grade spiritual ore, white stone. As for the water-toad beasts, after such a preliminary exploration, he found no less than 20 figures. There is still more than 300 feet away, which is the location of the white stone vein over there. Senior, when you encounter the 3rd level water toad beast later, I hope you can contain it. As for the other water toad beasts, let us clear them out. Yang Yuanling said solemnly, and his voice was clearly transmitted to Chen Qingyun's ears with the blessing of magic power. Chen Qingyun nodded calmly, brushed his hand across the storage bag, and summoned a puppet. The puppet held a trident, turned into a humanoid figure, and followed beside him. It was the sea god puppet. In the battle in the sea, the 5 puppets can adapt and exert powerful combat power. Among them, the sea god puppet is the most powerful, and is a natural sea god of war. Seeing the puppet appear beside Chen Qingyun, Yang Yang Yuanling and other Yang family monks couldn't help but look at it sideways. Chen Qingyun didn't care about it at all and ordered the sea god puppet to approach the mineral vein. Water toad beasts live in groups and will always pay attention to the dynamics of the surrounding environment to guard their territory and hunt. After Chen Qingyun and his party dived continuously, some water toad beasts began to sense their traces. Among them, two of them swung their bodies and rushed towards them while swimming with their limbs. The water toad beast looks like a toad, with such a long tongue and highly toxic mucus in its mouth. If a monk is infected with this highly toxic poison, if there is no detoxification pill to protect him, he will soon be corroded by the toxin and become the opponent's food before he surfaces. An adult water toad beast spits out its tongue to attack, which is enough to swallow a person in one bite. After the two water toad beasts launched their attack, they rushed over quickly. Chen Qingyun only raised his eyebrows and had no intention of taking action. His target had already locked onto the depths of the mineral vein, searching for the trace of the water toad beast king. Crash. Sword light surged in the sea. At the critical moment, Chen Qingyun took the lead, urging the white sword in his hand, slashing out a snow-white sword light, and facing the water toad beast that rushed in front. Chapter 316 Unexpected. These two water toad beasts are both at the first level, reaching a size of 3 to 4 meters. Facing the slashing sword light, the water toad beast rushing at the front tried to dodge, but its speed was slower. Only a slight puffing sound was heard. It was killed with a sword, and its body split into two halves, dyeing the surrounding seawater red. As the bloody smell spread, another water toad beast roared, notifying the group that an external enemy was attacking. This battle will alarm the water toad herd, which is actually part of their plan. Compared to searching for water toad beasts one by one in the mineral veins, and eliminating them one by one, it would be better to find a way to lure them all out, and then destroy them all in one go. With the water toad, sound an invasion alarm. Soon, water toad beasts emerged from the mineral veins one after another. Each one was the same size and turned into a black shadow moving at high speed in the sea. Seeing many water toad beasts rushing out of the mineral veins, Yang Yuanling took out the psychic book early and quickly launched an investigation. I saw the pages of the psychic book turning, emitting a hazy light. The power released by the magic weapon touched the water toad beasts like water without a trace, and then messages appeared on the pages. Under the examination of the psychic book, more than 30 water toad beasts swept in, all showing their respective cultivation levels. The results were similar to the previous test results. Both were dominated by first-order water toad beasts. Everyone seeing the water toad beast coming, Yang Yuanling's expression straightened, and he immediately called to everyone, "Do it." Upon hearing this, all the Yang family monks had already sacrificed their magic weapons. Trapped in the water avoiding beads of his fellow warriors, he quickly cast spells and launched attacks. Boo-hoo-hoo. More than 20 attacks were launched one after another, either with flying swords, treasure mirrors, small towers, spears, etc., each targeting the opponent. Under such a high-density attack, even if some water toad beasts dodge, some will still be hit by the attack. A battle broke out between the two sides in an instant. In just a few breaths, 6 water toad beasts were killed. Roar. At this moment, a huge beast roar suddenly sounded out as the battle was about to start fiercely. A huge water toad beast with a dark black body suddenly flew out of the mine. This is... Seeing this water toad beast, Chen Qingyun's eyes narrowed. It's the water toad beast king. Chen Qingyun launched a defensive state, facing the monsters at the Zaifu level, with deep fear in his heart. No, this isn't right. At the same time, Yang Yuanling's voice sounded, with a hint of fear in his tone. What's wrong? Chen Qingyun looked indifferent, and his consciousness spread out, covering the water toad beast king. The next moment, he also discovered something was wrong. Yang Yuanling's exclamation also sounded at this time. Third level. Third level, mid-level, how could it be like this? At this time, the record of the strength of this water toad beast king in the psychic book showed that it was in the middle stage of Zaifu. If this test result appears, There is nothing wrong with the psychic book itself. The problem lies with the Water Toad Beast King himself. A few days ago, the opponent's strength was still at the early stage of Xifu. Now that we have reached the middle stage of Xifu, it is obvious that our strength has been improved. The Water Toad Beast in the middle stage of Xifu, this. What should we do? Yang Ziwei, who was next to Yang Yuanling, also saw the words displayed on the psychic book, and his expression immediately changed. Generally speaking, the monsters in the early stage of Xifu can resist the monks in the middle stage of Xifu. In the same way, this Water Toad Beast King can confront the late-stage cultivators of Xifu head-on. It wouldn't take much effort to kill the middle-stage cultivator from Xifu. This time, the Chen family was invited to take action, and Chen Qingyun came. According to the original plan, this level of strength, as the backbone, was enough to fight against these monsters. The news that Chen Qingyun broke through to the middle stage of Xifu is not a secret. Many monks and families who follow the Chen family can find out. But now, something unexpected happened. Can Chen Qingyun be able to deal with the monsters in the middle stage of Xifu? Thinking of this, Yang Yuanling didn't want Chen Qingyun to continue to put himself in danger, so he quickly said, "Senior Qingyun, the situation is not good for us at the moment. This is a water toad beast in the middle stage of the Purple Mansion, we might as well retreat. Yes, it's better for us to avoid this battle quickly and make long-term plans." Yang Ziwei nodded repeatedly, and as he spoke, he was ready to cover everyone and evacuate this place quickly. The battle situation changed, and the Water Toad Beast King suddenly increased his strength, which no one expected. It's really not worth it to sacrifice yourself and the leaders of the Chen family here just for a mine. Middle stage of Xifu. Seeing that Yang Yuanling and others wanted to retreat and did not dare to continue fighting, Chen Qingyun's eyes were filled with light and he had no intention of retreating. Instead, he became more interested. The Water Toad Beast, which was originally only in the early stage of Z Mansion, can improve greatly in a few days and be promoted to the middle stage of Z Mansion. So the reason here is that it has accumulated strength and broken through the bottleneck. Or was there some heavenly material or earthly treasure born from the white stone veins that advanced its strength? With this doubt, Chen Qingyun changed his battle strategy. He no longer used the Poseidon puppet to deal with the water toad beasts, but continued to dive and get closer to the water toad beasts. Senior. Seeing that Chen Qingyun had no intention of retreating, Yang Yuanling couldn't help shouting again. When he looked down again, he saw that the water toad beasts, under the command of the Water Toad Beast King, lined up in a row and confronted everyone. Judging from the situation, they were guarding the mineral vein. Then he looked at Yang Yuanling and others, who were ready to evacuate. The three Yang family cultivators were controlling the water-repellent beads and leading everyone to float on the sea surface. Outsiders did not understand Chen Qingyun's strength, but Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun knew it deeply. Let alone this water toad beast, even if a late Purple Mansion beast appeared, according to Qingyun's strength, it could be easily killed. Now the key point to see is whether Qingyun will hold back or show some means to kill the enemy quickly. When this idea came to the minds of both of them, Chen Qingyun said nothing and did not respond to Chen Yuanling with words. Instead, he took action directly. Because he was walking in the front, he first fought against the entire group of water toad beasts alone, so how he took action would be seen by everyone. There was nothing to hide. Under the gaze of everyone, Chen Qingyun recalled the sea god puppet, and transformed into a mighty figure holding a trident and followed beside him. He himself had an ice blue light surging in his hand, which was particularly bright in the deep and dim ocean. Everyone couldn't see clearly what was revealed in his hand. The next moment, the ice blue light was like a flame. With Chen Qingyun's right palm as the center, the scene of the nine heavens Milky Way pouring down suddenly spread downwards. Chapter 317, Easily Killed. Instantly, extreme coldness emerged in the water. It was visible to the naked eye that the seawater quickly condensed into ice wherever the ice blue flame spread. This instant freezing of the ocean and the outbreak of extreme coldness caused the sensitive water toad beasts that were about to devour everyone to instinctively sense the danger. Led by the Water Toad Beast King, Many water toad beasts fled towards the seabed in panic, as if they were insects facing the flames. They were terrified at this time and wanted to avoid the freezing and killing of the extremely cold spiritual fire. However, can they avoid it? Are they escaping faster, or is the dry ghost ice and fire freezing faster? The answer is yes. With the strength of the Purple Mansion period, these water toad beasts simply couldn't dodge when they used the dry ghost ice and fire. At most, they only dived a distance of more than 10 meters before being enveloped by the extremely cold power of the dry ghost ice and fire. It can be clearly seen that their bodies that were originally escaping suddenly stopped and were frozen in the sea. The surrounding seawater was frozen in an instant, turning into a crystal clear ice sculpture. The people present had eyesight far beyond that of ordinary people. Feeling the coldness sweeping through the sea and the temperature dropping sharply. Looking closely, they saw that the expressions of the water toad beasts were either terrified, roaring, confused, or ferocious. They all merged with the surrounding seawater and turned into crystal clear ice sculptures. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, who would have believed that the water toad beasts that were arrogant and regarded them as prey before would be suppressed by such an attack? Including the water toad beast king, they were also powerless to resist. Yang Yuanling couldn't help but take a breath of cold air when he saw this kind of fairy-like method. If it weren't for the oxygen supply of the water-repellent beads and the isolation from the outside seawater, he would have swallowed a few mouthfuls of seawater. What a mysterious method! Yang Ziwai's eyes widened and he exclaimed that it was amazing. Other water toad beasts were easy to deal with. In his opinion, it would be easy to suppress them with such ice-attributed magic with the strength of the Purple Mansion stage. However, there was a water toad beast king in the middle stage of the Purple Mansion stage. The magical power of the Purple Mansion cultivators was not necessarily so powerful. He had participated in the Xingzong campaign before, and had seen the Purple Mansion cultivators fight against the monsters. The battle was fierce. But no matter how fierce it was not as easy as Chen Qingyun, who froze the water toad beast king with just a wave of his hand. As expected of Qingyun, this strength is much higher than ours. Chen Qingyun's eyes were full of light. Even though he knew that Chen Qingyun had extraordinary means, he couldn't help but be surprised at this time. Yes. Chen Qingyun also sighed. They were like this, and those Yang family cultivators were even more stunned. Chen Qingyun didn't care about the various expressions on the faces of the people around him, and his eyes fell firmly on the water toad beast king. A total of 32 water toad beasts were frozen. Aside from the water toad beast king, those of the first level had been strangled by the extreme cold and became corpses in the ice. Only the water toad beast king had a particularly strong vitality. With the help of Ganyu Bingyuo's perception, Chen Qingyun could sense that the other party still had life, and the demon power in his body was struggling to break free. After experiencing battles and killings, Chen Qingyun had faced too many kinds of demon beasts of varying strengths. How could he let the other party do such a thing? Go! As Chen Qingyun waved his hand, the sea god puppet moved at the sound, turned into a stream of water, and charged with a trident in hand, stabbing directly at the water toad beast king. Boom! The dull sound of ice collision sounded, and the sound was very low. Everyone looked over and saw that the sea god puppet was unstoppable, piercing through the ice with its trident layer by layer, hitting the body of the water toad beast king. This attack directly penetrated the body of the monster, and the opponent was just about to break free from the ice. However, a battle between the Purple Mansion level can often be decided in a breath. This attack, the opponent fell immediately. After killing the water toad beast king, the sea god puppet waved the trident and directly brought the trophy back to Chen Qingyun. This scene made Chen Qingyun the focus of the whole audience, and the atmosphere fell into an extremely peaceful state. At the same time, around the white stone vein, black shadows began to rush out, baring their teeth and rushing towards them. There were more than 90 water toad beasts, and they did not scatter because their leader was killed. Instead, they wanted to take this opportunity to continue to regard Chen Qingyun and others as prey. After the predation, a new leader will be born. The water toad beasts also have a strong sense of territory and will not easily give up this nest. Facing the attack of these water toad beasts, Chen Qingyun did not rush to take action this time, but looked at Chen Qingyun and others. Sister, Qingyun, the rest is left to you. Among this group of water toad beasts, 1 third level and 1 second level were eliminated by Chen Qingyun. Even if he did not take action, the remaining water toad beasts would not take much effort to deal with the strength of Chen Qingyun and others. Good. Chen Qingyun's move shocked the morale that was originally depressed due to retreat. Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun both nodded and began to activate the magic weapon to fight back. Hurry up, let's do it too. Don't delay any longer. Take them down. A group of Yang family cultivators went out one after another, showing their skills in one go. Chen Qingyun controlled the white light sword, and with one swing of the sword, he could kill a demon beast with one sword. Chen Qingyun was at the 9th level of Qi refining, and his strength was not low. Basically, 1 or 2 moves could defeat the enemy and win a demon pill. Those Yang family cultivators mainly cooperated and fought with the principle of safety first. Without the leaders of the 2nd and 3rd levels, this group of water toad beasts would not be the opponent of everyone. Various magic tools, water attribute, and ice attribute spells were performed in succession, illuminating the surroundings. More than 90 water toad beasts could not withstand the attacks of everyone, and soon began to flee. In the end, under the pursuit of more than a dozen Yang family cultivators, all the water toad beasts were wiped out and completely eliminated. And at this time, while others were cleaning up the battlefield and collecting spoils, Chen Qingyun secretly controlled the sea god puppet and entered the white stone mine first. In the mine, since it had not been mined yet, there were no complicated, crisscrossing mine caves. There was only one passage that led directly to the depths of the mine. This was the nest of the water toad beast. The sea god puppet moved forward, and gradually light appeared in the nest. It found many monster bones, which were eaten as food and left here. When it entered the end of the nest, Chen Qingyun found something different, which was the reason why the water toad beast king advanced. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 318. Ancient White Stone. At the end of the nest, you can see the white minerals on the stone wall, the number of which is more than 40. Each of them is snow white and flawless, with spiritual charm flowing inside. These are white stones, dotted on the stone wall, emitting a hazy light source, reflecting the scene in the cave. There is no trace of water toad beasts here, only a quiet atmosphere, and seawater everywhere. Chen Qingyun expected to find the existence of these white stones in the nest. The only thing that attracted his attention was that among these white stones, there was a particularly conspicuous one. It was a white stone with a more snow-white color and a round shape. At first glance, it attracted Chen Qingyun's attention. Because of careful comparison, it can be seen that this white stone is different from the surrounding ones. It contains the ultimate power of creation. When the sea god puppet approached, it felt that the divine thoughts and magic power in the body resonated. There are countless kinds of magical minerals in the world, with different shapes and effects. But there are very few that can resonate with the mind and magic power of the cultivators at the same time. This round white stone is very special. Controlling the sea god puppet, he carefully looked at the round white stone. Chen Qingyun soon felt that there was a kind of heaven and earth rhyme in the white stone, which was quite extraordinary, and it was difficult for him to look away. Judging from its color, this thing has existed for at least 100,000 years. A white stone over 100,000 years old. What is the concept? In terms of time, this can be traced back to the ancient times, before the ancient destruction. Being able to exist for so long and being nurtured by heaven and earth until now, The value of this ancient white stone can no longer be measured by spirit stones alone. The Yang family did not mention before that there is an ancient white stone here. This object is surrounded by many white stones like a moon surrounded by stars. It is so eye-catching here. When the Yang family cultivators come here, they will definitely be interested in this ancient white stone. The mine has been taken, so this ancient white stone will be accepted with pleasure. This is not the time to look at it too much. When it is brought back to the family, there will be plenty of time to explore the wonderful uses of this object. The sea god puppet took action and carefully took the ancient white stone from the rock wall, and then quietly left the nest under the control of Chen Qingyun. When the sea god puppet returned to Chen Qingyun with the ancient white stone and entered the storage bag, Yang Yuanling and others had already cleaned up the battlefield and were preparing to enter the mine to explore. Chen Qingyun looked calm and called Qingguang and Qingnian, and led the team into the mine. After more than half an hour, everyone had explored the entire white stone mine. Yang Yuanling sent Yang Ziwei and 10 Yang family monks to guard here, while he was going back to Hongshan Island to discuss the subsequent mining matters. Leaving the garrison behind, Chen Qingyun took out the Panlong and returned to Hongshan Island with everyone, and then sent a message to Chen Xianmin to inform him of the progress. The old patriarch replied quickly, and after expressing his joy, he sent Chen Daoren, Chen Qingfeng, and Chen Douhai to come. Prepare to jointly mine the white stone vein with the Yang family. Chen Qingyun will discuss these things. That night, the two sides discussed the results. The first step is to arrange a set of water-avoiding formations. First, it is to facilitate the mining of the veins by monks and mortals. Second, it is necessary to lay out a defensive force for the entire vein to deal with some foreign invasions. The white stone vein itself is a spiritual mine, containing spiritual energy, and can only be arranged with a second-level top-grade formation. The investment of this formation is half by the Chen family and half by the Yang family, and it will be implemented from today. For this reason, Chen Xianmin sent a special message to the head of the Zhang family, telling them the requirements for the formation, to see if the Zhang family could make a set of formations. The Zhang family replied that they could make it, but the price was not cheap. Even if they did not make any profit, the spirit stones required for the whole formation would be at least 3,700. According to the market price, such a set of second-level top-grade formations would require more than 4,800 spirit stones, including the labor cost. There is no need to say more about the relationship between the two families, which is very good. After a few simple conversations, the Chen family finalized it. This set of formations will be made by the Zhang family, and they will be given as many spirit stones as they can, so as not to make them lose money. The production period of the formation is within 1 month, which is not a long time. After all, the formation needs to cover a large area. In the future, the arrangement of the formation will still be completed by the Chen and Yang families themselves, and it is impossible for a third force to know the location of the white stone vein. Then, both families will send people to guard the veins together. Before the official mining, no one can act on their own. If you want to mine, everyone should work together, supervise each other, and check. Don't play those sneaky tricks. Be more disciplined. When it comes to interests, there is no such thing as strict self-interest. Finally, the water toads are divided. This is easy to divide. Whoever kills it will own it. On Chen Qingyun's side, he killed a 3rd level, a 2nd level, and 31st level, and these naturally belong to him. On Qingguang and Qingnian's side, the number was less. Qingguang killed 21st level. Qingnian killed 13th level. On the Chen family side, 3 people were dispatched and almost wiped out half of the water toad herd. It is worth mentioning that although these 13th level monsters are still short of the resources needed to impact the foundation building, there are still more than 10 of them. However, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun are willing to give some monster resources to Qingnian to build the foundation. The price of a monster pill was sold to Qingnian at the lowest market price. There is nothing wrong with this brother settling accounts. After obtaining 16 monster pills, Chen Qingyun asked the family for instructions, and followed Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun back to Linjian Island to retreat and build the foundation the next day. Chen Douhai, Chen Daoren, and Chen Qingyun were left in charge of the White Stone Vein. After returning to Lingjian Island and telling Chen Xianming about the whole battle, Chen Qingyun returned to his residence and took out the ancient white stone to study the clues. After spending a day or two to consult various ancient books in the family, Chen Qingyun finally figured out the strangeness of the ancient white stone. The power of creation contained in this thing can promote the advancement of monsters and spirit beasts. Especially the dragon race, the creatures of the dragon-like race, can rely on the ancient white stone to stimulate the blood and magical powers in the body. After figuring this out, Chen Qingyun called Mo Ling out. The little guy seemed very lively. He originally flew around Chen Qingyun for a few circles and called out happily. Then, when he saw the ancient white stone, Mo Ling was attracted by the affinity emanating from it. He turned his head and looked at Chen Qingyun, showing a puzzled look, asking what it was. Chen Qingyun smiled slightly. "This thing is called the ancient white stone. You may be interested." After reaching the foundation building stage, Mo Ling could understand human words and immediately landed next to the ancient white stone to look at it. After just a short while, it seemed to have discovered some delicious food. It excitedly flapped its wings and began to absorb the aura of good fortune inside. Chapter 319 King Nian builds foundation. After just a few puffs, Mo Ling showed an intoxicated look, and then he felt sleepy, closed his eyes and fell asleep. Seeing Mo Ling fall asleep again, Chen Qingyun reached out and touched its furry head, and this time put it aside. Looking at the ancient white stone in front of him, Chen Qingyun thought about it and took out the 10,000 Swords map again. In addition to Mo Ling, the spiritual beast he carried with him was the Red Dragon in the 10,000 Swords map. Although the Red Dragon was a residual soul, he could try to contact the ancient white stone to see if it could produce any effect. As a dragon, the Red Dragon belongs to the dragon-like family, and it must be able to obtain the effect of the ancient white stone. Chen Qingyun took out the 10,000 Swords map and summoned the Red Dragon soul from it. As soon as the Red Dragon soul appeared, it hovered in the air for a few breaths, and then was attracted by the ancient white stone in front of it. It looked like it had seen its favorite prey, and it swooped down towards the ancient white stone with a cheer. Seeing this scene, Chen Qingyun's expression condensed, and he saw the Red Dragon soul moving excitedly, and it was quite excited, and it actually sank into the ancient white stone. Is this possible? Seeing that the Red Dragon soul was part of the 10,000 Swords map, it could move independently at this time, without being blocked, and entered the ancient white stone, which made Chen Qingyun secretly amazed. At this time, paying attention to the state of the ancient white stone, he saw that there was an extra red line in it. No, to be precise, this line is the Red Dragon soul. It can have such spirituality and enter the ancient white stone by itself. Obviously, this thing has a huge attraction to it. Maybe it can really get bloodline improvement and some changes will occur. Looking at the 10,000 Swords map, without the blessing of the Red Dragon soul, the power of this magic weapon has been reduced by about 30% to 40%, which is not a problem. As long as the Red Dragon soul is improved in the later stage, it will be fine. I don't know what this Red Dragon soul will eventually evolve into. It's worth waiting and seeing. After completing the task of the White Stone Mine, Chen Qingyun set off to return to Zhenhai Island. After living on this island for many years, Chen Qingyun has gotten used to it. The family also regarded Zhenhai Island as Chen Qingyun's living territory, and did not deliberately discuss who would be sent to garrison Zhenhai Island in the future. They will continue to maintain the previous benefits and let Chen Qingyun continue to guard it. Time flies, and a month has passed in a blink of an eye. The Zhang family has completed the production of the formation, which is called Tanyi Shui formation. On the basis of avoiding water, it has the effect of resisting the attacks of up to 10 foundation building monks. The price is 5,100 spirit stones, which is very cost effective and more than 100 spirit stones cheaper than the same type of formation on the market. In the following days, this formation, led by Chen Daoran, began to be laid out with a group of Yang family cultivators. After the formation was arranged, the entire white stone vein, along with the surrounding several thousand meters, was under the protection of the formation, like a small world. Both cultivators and mortals can move around in it without being affected by the seawater. At this time, people can be sent to mine the Whitestone vein with confidence. The mining work was carried out very well. Both families decided to send a large number of mortals and arrange a few cultivators to take the lead. These things were discussed 3 days later. A total of 200 mortals, plus 6 cultivators, 3 from each side, began to mine the Whitestone vein. After a month of mining, the output of the Whitestone vein reached more than 50 pieces, of different sizes, with a total value of about 15,000 spirit stones. According to the proportion of the division, the Chen family occupied 70%, so it was 10,500 spirit stones. This is much greater than the income from hematite. Chen Qingyun made a great contribution and took 10% of the profits, which can also be divided into 1,050 spiritual stones. With the mining of the Whitestone vein, the Chen family prospered more and more, and had greater confidence to expand the spiritual field planting and the expansion of the market shop. As for the existence of this Whitestone vein, the Chen and Yang families kept it extremely secret, and if it could not be leaked to the outside world, they would not mention it at all. On this day, outside a retreat cave on Lingjian Island, several figures gathered together with smiles on their faces. They were Chen Qingyun, Chen Qinglai, Chen Nianwei and others, talking and laughing around Chen Qingyun. After more than 20 days of retreat, Chen Qingyun condensed the true essence in one fell swoop, successfully built the foundation, and became the new foundation of the Chen family. Qingyun, congratulations! Ha 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 ha! Another foundation-building cultivator has been born in the Qing generation. Qinglai, Qingling, Qingyun, we can't catch up for the time being, so we want to catch up with Qingyun and build a foundation as soon as possible. I didn't expect that in the past few years, the strength of our family has advanced by leaps and bounds, and several foundation-building cultivators have been born. Great! On that day, Chen Xianming was delighted to learn that Chen Qingyun had built a foundation. After the news that a new foundation-building cultivator had been added to the family and Qingyun had successfully built a foundation was passed back to Lingjian Island, Chen Qingyun also sent congratulations. These days, he has been immersed in the study of improving the art of refining. Since reaching the 2nd grade extreme level, he is only one step away from the 3rd grade lower level. Chen Qingyun has inherited the 4th grade refiner heritage from Lin Kangong, but because of the long time, it is from more than 1,000 years ago. After such a long time of development, many refining techniques and attainments have been updated and improved. So it is not only necessary to learn and comprehend the weapon refining inheritance left by Senior Lin, but also to combine the many new weapon refining concepts and new arrays of the contemporary era to improve the weapon refining technique. There is the latest 3rd level weapon refining inheritance on Lingjian Island. When exchanging Xingzong resources last time, I exchanged 1 alchemy inheritance and 1 weapon refining inheritance. The knowledge covered by these 2 inheritances has reached the 3rd level top grade level, which is enough for the Chen family to produce a 3rd level top grade alchemist or weapon refiner. When exchanging these 2 resources, Chen Xianming was still prepared for a rainy day and enriched the family foundation in advance. At that time, everyone thought that it would not be used for the time being. At least in the next 10 years, there will be no 3rd level alchemists and weapon refiners. Now it seems that Chen Qingyun is going to break everyone's cognition. After sending a message to the old patriarch to tell him about his needs, he quickly replied and said that he would come to Zhenhai Island in person. Not long after, Chen Xianming drove the flying sword and came to Zhenhai Island excitedly. Seeing Chen Qingyun, his face was full of excitement. I didn't expect that in just a few years, your weapon refining attainments have improved so rapidly, and you have actually reached the 2nd level top grade level. When did you achieve this achievement? I haven't heard you mention it before. Why are you still so secretive about the family? Chen Xianming joked. Chen Qingyun smiled slightly and said, I broke through more than 2 months ago. He told the old patriarch about the specific situation. After listening to the old patriarch, the smile on his face became even stronger. So, after reaching the Purple Mansion stage, With the huge improvement of the soul, it can bring great feedback to the weapon refining technique. Not bad. Well, I remember you have a 4th level weapon refining inheritance, and this latest 3rd level weapon refining inheritance is also useful to you. I brought it to you, take a look and see if it's these. As Chen Qingyun spoke, he took out a green jade slip from the storage bag. Chapter 320, Mountain and Sea Seal. The blue jade slip contains the knowledge of refining from the 1st to the 3rd level. It contains a large number of array patterns, true explanations of refining, experience records, etc. The refining heritage produced by Xingzong symbolizes the latest refining essence of the entire Xinghai. There is no need to worry about omissions or refining techniques that are too old and backward. Just learn boldly. Seeing the blue jade slip, Chen Qingyun's eyes lit up slightly, and he took it in his hand and began to check it. Qingyun, you can be promoted to the 2nd level top grade refiner. The young are formidable. Chen Qingyun's voice slowly sounded, and his tone was full of praise. My Chen family is about to produce the first 3rd level weapon refiner. If your grandfather Daora knew about your achievement, he would probably wake up laughing in his dreams. At the beginning, I guided you to learn weapon refinement. I didn't expect you to have such achievements now. You have done a good job. You are worthy of being the Qingyun son of our Chen family. Qingyun, son? I don't dare to be called this. You are too kind, clan leader. Ha ha ha, I am, you don't have to be so humble, just listen to the praise. The two laughed and talked for a while. Chen Qingyun decided to use the family merit points to exchange for this inheritance jade slip. Before collecting the war merits to exchange for the foundation building pill, the family only took out more than 60,000 spirit stones for Chen Qingyun because they didn't have many spirit stones. The remaining 5,000 spirit stones cannot be taken out for the time being, so it is set as 5,000 merit points, plus 10% interest, which is 5,500 merit points. No. After learning about Chen Qingyun's idea, Chen Qingyun shook his head repeatedly. You have previously copied a copy of the 4th level refining inheritance to the family. The family owes you. Moreover, as the family refiner, how can you spend merit to pass on the refining technique? Once you do this, who in the family is willing to spend the only merit on refining? You, take it. I have copied this jade slip, and not a single word is missing. I can also tell you that the family system has been gradually improved recently. Although we try to be fair and distinguish between public and private, the family needs to vigorously develop the 100 arts of cultivating immortals. So, whether it is refining, alchemy, or talisman inheritance, it is free and open. Anyone who is interested can learn it. There are no restrictions. Chen Qingyun's words made Chen Qingyun see the old patriarch's efforts to develop the family. At that time, if the old patriarch had not proposed to exchange alchemy and refining inheritance in Xingzong, there would be no such green jade slip. The old patriarch's vision is still far-sighted. And now that the conversation has come to this, it would be too hypocritical to refuse. So, Chen Qingyun did not say much and accepted the green jade slip without hesitation. After successfully obtaining the inheritance of refining equipment, Chen Qingyun invited the old patriarch to rest on the island and not rush back to Lingjian Island. Now, the Chen family has been promoted to the Purple Mansion family, and its prestige has increased. Anyone who wants to move the Chen family must first weigh their own weight. Moreover, Chen Qingfeng is still staying on Lingjian Island, representing the Xingzong. It is no secret that Zuyurong and Long Taifeng have intersections with the Chen family. The entire Xingsha Islands family has known about it, and many people also saw these two at the banquet that day. Now on Lingjian Island, even if the island protection formation is opened, no one dares to fight. Sitting down in the courtyard with the old patriarch, while drinking tea, he carefully checked the contents of the jade slip. There are more than 200,000 words and more than 300 formation patterns of various types. Among them, the array patterns and refining methods of the 3rd level magic weapon are fully recorded. Compared with the 2nd level array patterns, The third-level ones are more mysterious, profound, and more difficult to engrave. Fortunately, these are not difficult for Chen Qingyun. Combined with the refining inheritance obtained from Lin Kangong, the ancient and modern refining techniques are combined, and the strengths of the ancient and modern refining techniques are combined to make up for the weaknesses and bring forth the new, and the progress will be very fast. And if you want to advance to the third level lower grade refiner, the most important thing is that the strength of the mind must meet the standard and be able to support the engraving of the third level array pattern. For Chen Qingyun, there is still a lot of confidence in breaking through this shackles. The best way to advance is to try to refine a third level magic weapon. Since it involves the refining of magic weapons, Chen Qingyun took the initiative to ask Chen Xianming, Patriarch, how many magic weapons do you have now? How many magic weapons? Chen Xianming was stunned when he heard this, and then couldn't help but smile bitterly. You think too highly of me. I don't have such a good opportunity as you. How can I have so many magic weapons? As he said this, the old patriarch flipped his palm and took out a flying sword. Here, this is the only magic weapon I have. The Blazing Sun Blazing Soul Sword. Chen Qingyun murmured as he looked at the flying sword. That's right. Chen Xianming broke through to the Purple Mansion stage, and the magic weapon in his hand was the Blazing Sun Blazing Soul Sword. The other silver ruler was chosen by Chen Qingyun as his own magic weapon after he broke through to the Purple Mansion stage. In addition, Chen Xianming was reluctant to buy other magic weapons, and there were none in the family. A Purple Mansion cultivator, who was also the head of a clan, had only one magic weapon in his hand, which was a bit poor to say. This time, Chen Qingyun decided to refine one or two magic weapons for him, and by the way, he could also improve his own refining attainments. Seemingly seeing Chen Qingyun's thoughts, Chen Xianming smiled faintly, put away the Blazing Sun Blazing Soul Sword, and sacrificed the Blazing Sky Sword again. By the way, to be precise, the current Fiery Heavenly Sword can be upgraded into a magic weapon if it is refined again and some strengthening materials are added. The Fiery Heavenly Sword is a quasi-natal magic weapon recorded in the Fiery Heavenly Sword technique. As the monk's strength increases, he can be promoted step by step to a top-grade magic weapon, second only to the natal magic weapon. Therefore, it is also called a quasi-natal magic weapon. Although it has only been more than a year since Chen Xianming broke through to the Xifu stage, he has worked hard during this period. Not only to firmly consolidate the cultivation base. Moreover, this Fiery Heavenly Sword has reached the stage of promotion. It will take no more than a month at most to develop into a low-grade magic weapon. Regardless of the magic weapon, the level of this Fiery Sky Sword is not high. But its advantage is that the magic weapon itself is highly compatible with Chen Xianming, and it will be extremely easy to wield without any unfamiliarity. As you continue to improve in the later stage, your fit will become more and more perfect. When it comes to practicing martial arts, the Patriarch can be said to be the most accomplished in the entire Chen family. He is the only one who has made great achievements in the Fire Heavenly Sword technique. In terms of combat effectiveness, with this skill, there are really few opponents in the same realm. The old patriarch looked at him. In fact, this was a prostrate lion. After learning about the magic weapons on the old patriarch's body, Chen Qingyun focused on checking which magic weapons could be refined first. In this weapon refining inheritance, there are more than a dozen methods of refining magic weapons. For example, Mountain and Sea Seal, Escape Sky Shuttle, Alive Vagerous Sword, Flame Ring Sun Wheel, etc. Chen Qingyun made a selection and combined it with whether the refining materials were easy to obtain, and finally decided to refine the Mountain and Sea Seal and the Flame Ring Sun Disc first. Regarding the refining materials of Shanghai Seal, there are 3 types in total. Chapter 321, Rebellion on Yishi Island, Taiyuan Stone, Agate Silver Crystal, Ice and Fire Silver Crystal. Chen Xianming said that the family did not have these 3 materials for refining the Mountain and Sea Seal for the time being, and they needed to go to the market to buy them. Although Taiyuan Stone and Agate Silver Crystal were not available, There were ice and fire silver crystals. A lot of them were obtained in Lin Kangong's cave. In addition, Chen Qingyun also prepared to refine the low-grade magic weapon called Yanhuan Sun Wheel. In terms of materials, Huanri stone and Liuo Tanxing copper are needed. The Chen family did not have these two materials, so they needed to be purchased separately. The family was short of third-level refining materials. More resources need to be supplemented in the future. Chen Xianming stayed on Zhenhai Island for half a day, paying attention to the mining of some hematite ores and the production progress of the refining workshop before leaving and returning to Lingjian Island. The next day, Chen Qingyun informed his fifth sister and set off alone to Yishi Island to purchase various refining materials. It is not easy to buy third-level materials in small markets such as Xianlin, Hia, and Fangrao, so you have to go to the large market in one go. After sailing on the sea for a few days, Chen Qingyun arrived at Yishi Island. When he first stepped onto the island and entered the entrance of the market, Chen Qingyun found that the inspection here was particularly strict. The two foundation building monks put their hands on both sides, and one of them held a magic mirror and checked the monks who were about to enter the market. When it was Chen Qingyun's turn, he saw the light on the magic mirror flowing, emitting a dazzling light reflecting on his body, and a warm feeling came over him. This thing is a magic mirror used to detect demon cultivators, evil cultivators, and demon cultivators. Name Jiang Mirror. Chen Qingyun was not an evil demon cultivator, and he quickly passed the test and entered the market. Compared with the last time he came to Yishi Island, it didn't seem so lively here today. After walking a few steps, Chen Qingyun saw that some cultivators were hurriedly walking out of the market. It would be fine if there was only one person, maybe they were in a hurry. But then, he met 2 or 3 more cultivators, who were also in a hurry, looking like they were in a hurry to get out of the market, which made Chen Qingyun look serious. What's going on? As the largest market in the Star Sea, it has many resources and industries, and many strong people gather here. It has many rules that prohibit fighting in the market, just like the Black Cliff Market. In theory, there is no need to worry about your own safety when you are active here. Ancestor Han is not a vegetarian either. He has lived on this island for many years and is feared by the 4 seas. So these cultivators are in such a hurry. What crisis do they feel? Chen Qingyun couldn't help but think of the experience of monster attacks he encountered when he was in Yunnan Market before. Could it be that this Yishi Island has also been attacked by monsters recently? Chen Qingyun didn't rush to ask, and he suppressed his doubts and decided to buy the refining materials first. Since he came here, he wouldn't return empty-handed. After wandering around the market for a while, Chen Qingyun entered a shop called Taixu Hall. After asking for prices and bargaining, he spent more than 5,000 spiritual stones in total and bought 3 pieces of Taiyui stone and Liuo Tanxing copper. As for the agate silver crystal, Taixu Hall does not have it for the time being, and it needs to draw supplies from other places, which will take at least a month. As for the Phantom Sun Stone, it will take 3 days, and a batch of Phantom Sun Stones will arrive here in 3 days. It is not necessary to refine magic tools on Zhenhai Island. Chen Qingyun simply decided to stay on Yishi Island for a few days and wait for the Phantom Sunstone to arrive. As for the agate silver crystal, he will go to other shops to ask. There is no rush for these few days. Before leaving Taixu Hall, Chen Qingyun remembered the abnormality in the market, so he asked the shopkeeper who received him. The shopkeeper's name is Zhang Fuxu. He is in his 50s. He looks naive and kind, and treats customers very warmly. Seeing that Chen Qingyun spent a lot of money in the store, he would definitely be a big customer in the future, so he answered patiently. I think you have been in seclusion for a long time, so you don't know the recent situation in Yishi Island. I don't know if you have heard that more than a dozen demon cultivators appeared in the market these days, causing some commotion and killing several market cultivators. Demon cultivators are making trouble. Chen Qingyun heard the words and continued to listen calmly, only to hear the shopkeeper sigh slightly. The demon cultivators lurking in the market this time are from Jian Island. The demon cultivators on this demon island are insidious and cunning, and they kill people like flies. Especially the magic weapon soul-piercing bone-piercing nail is even more cruel and ruthless, which makes people feel creepy. I don't think you are a local cultivator. You must not know that there is a big conflict between our Han Patriarch of Yishi Island and Xuanian Old Demon of Jian Island. The threat of demon cultivators in the market this time is actually a competition between two giant powerhouses. Small fish and shrimps like me who make a living in the market and only seek self-protection dare not participate in it. Just keep to yourself and do your own things. Your fellow Taoists need to be more careful about the cultivators around you when you are in the market recently. Those demon cultivators from Jian Island are extremely good at hiding and killing people invisibly. If you encounter any strange cultivators talking to you or even following you, you must be vigilant. Zhang Fuxi reminded him in a friendly way, and without waiting for Chen Qingyun to respond, he thought of something and added immediately. But don't worry too much. Han Laozu has sent people to patrol the market day and night, and the guards are much stronger than before. I just hope they can quickly find the hidden demon cultivators in the market, so as to avoid constant panic. After hearing the news, Chen Qingyun frowned slightly. Why is it the demon cultivators from Jian Island who are causing trouble again? A few years ago, the demon cultivators of the local forces had their hands on the Inner Star Sea and attacked the Zhang family cultivators, and even attacked Zhenhai Island later. The scope of Jian Island is too large. After so many years, it has not stopped and has even extended its claws to Yishi Island. Hey, these demon cultivators are making such a fuss, and business is getting harder and harder. There are fewer customers these days. Zhang Fuxi said with a worried look. Chen Qingyun pondered and realized that this matter was not a small matter. As an economic center and a trading place where cultivators gather, the market has formulated strict rules to ensure personal safety and fairness. In the early days, the market lacked management, allowing the cultivators to trade freely without any rules and restrictions, which caused chaos to break out frequently in the market. For example, killing and robbing treasures. Fistfights were everywhere, which made the market economy slump and difficult to continue. In the later period, it was still under the constraints of many rules that the market economy was able to recover and continue to flourish. And now there are demon cultivators lurking in Yishi Island, ignoring the rules of the market. Those foundation building and purple mansion cultivators have their own strength, so there is no need to worry too much. But in the market, the largest number is still the most basic casual cultivators and qi refining cultivators. Let them take the risk of being persecuted by demon cultivators and move around in Yishi Island. If there is no huge profit attraction, who would be willing to take this risk? Chapter 322 Prohibition. It is no wonder that the cultivators I saw before left Yishi Island in a hurry. It is better to go to other markets than to be threatened by the demon cultivators here. Although the disturbance on Jian Island this time did not threaten the safety of Han Laozu, it disgusted Yishi Island. In the past few days, the flow of people in the market is definitely not as much as before. This makes it more difficult for many shops to do business. The ultimate damage is the entire Yishi Island itself. According to Han Laozu's current practice, sending cultivators to strengthen patrols and catch hidden demon cultivators is also a good way. After talking with Zhang Fuxi for a few words and asking about the specific situation in detail, Chen Qingyun did not talk much after learning that Han Laozu was also keeping a close eye on the dynamics of Jian Island. Then he got up and left. Since there are demon cultivators making trouble in the market, it is better to have less trouble than more, so we can't stay here for long, so it is better to leave first. As for the fantasy sunstone, come back to pick it up in a few days. Chen Qingyun, holding the storage bag, headed for the exit of the market town. Along the way, he saw cultivators walking in groups or alone, heading towards the exit of the market town. These cultivators were all at the qi refining stage. Obviously, these people had the same idea as him. It was better not to get involved in the muddy water between Yishi Island and Jian Island. It was normal for casual cultivators to want to escape when they encountered something. Chen Qingyun didn't pay much attention to this. When he arrived at the exit of the market town, he saw more than a dozen cultivators being stopped and not allowed to leave. Including their group of cultivators. Before they took a step out of the market town, a cultivator holding a long halberd and wearing armor began to reach out to stop them. Everyone, wait a minute. All the cultivators of Yishi Island, starting from an hour ago, were forbidden to leave the market at will by Patriarch Han. They must follow orders at any time to prepare for the elimination of demon cultivators. The man's name was Liu Xuanchan, who was in the middle stage of foundation building. He looked at everyone with a serious expression and blocked the exit of the market. As long as someone disobeyed the order and insisted on leaving the market, he would definitely take action. His words caused more than a dozen casual cultivators to look at each other in dismay and couldn't help complaining. Patriarch Han issued an order. Why didn't I know it before? Hey, we can't leave the market, what can we do? For now, let's wait and see. As the largest casual cultivator alliance in the Star Sea and the #1 immortal cultivation market, Yishi Island can achieve its current achievements. The biggest reason is that Patriarch Han will protect many casual cultivators in the market. This is also the key point to attract casual cultivators to settle down and practice. But in return, when encountering any trouble on Yishi Island, which concerns the development and survival, the scattered cultivators here must obey the mobilization of Han Leozu. This seems to be that Han Leozu has trained a group of thugs for the development of the market for personal interests. In fact, since the establishment of Yishi Island, it has only experienced 2 crises. One was the attack of monsters. The other was the engulfing of ghost fog. In those 2 times, Han Leozu recruited scattered cultivators in the market to take action and finally resolved the crisis. This time, in order to deal with the chaos of demon cultivators, he had to recruit many scattered cultivators to take action and could not leave Yishi Island at will. The purpose is to catch the turtle in the jar and pull out all the demon cultivators hiding in Yishi Island. So Han Leozu's approach did not cause much criticism. After all, in the entire Xinghai. Like Han Leozu, who is willing to build a market for scattered cultivators, set up caves for living and practicing, and provide shelter, there is no second giant and cultivator willing to do so. This also made Han Leozu famous, and he had a higher reputation in the world of casual cultivators and was quite respected by casual cultivators. It is no exaggeration to say that as long as he raised his arm and called on cultivators to launch large-scale actions, he would definitely attract many casual cultivators to respond to the call. Please understand that now is an extraordinary period. If you want to eradicate the demon cultivators, you need to block the entire market first. Do you want to see those demon cultivators committing crimes here and then leave safely and live happily outside? Eradicating demons and defending the way is what we cultivators should do. Liu Xuanchan said seriously. Hearing this, everyone also gave up the idea of leaving, and no one dared to disobey Han Leozu's order. This is just about leaving Yishi Island. Where to live in the future, every step requires spiritual stones, and survival is a problem. In the future, Yishi Island will definitely not be able to come again. It's good enough to escape from the order without being held accountable. How dare you fall into the trap again? Thinking of this, some people began to disperse and decided to stay on Yishi Island first. With Han Leozu in charge, they didn't need to deal with those powerful demon cultivators. At most, they would follow and search the island to find the traces of demon cultivators. When they really need to take action, there are so many fellow practitioners. At most, they will have to deal with demon cultivators in the foundation building stage. With this in mind, there is no need to panic. Seeing that the scattered cultivators around dispersed, Chen Qingyun was not a cultivator on the island, so he would not stay here for long. Before leaving, he was asked about his identity by Liu Xuanchan. It is worth mentioning that all the scattered cultivators living on Yishi Island will be registered, leave some basic information, and have special marks on their bodies. Such marks can be detected by the matching magic weapon 8 treasure tanks and mirror as long as they are not taken by giant and cultivators. After hearing that Chen Qingyun was not a casual cultivator, but from a family of immortal cultivators, Liu Xuanchan's attitude softened a lot. Let me verify it. After Asking for Chen Qingyun's permission, he took out the 8 treasures heavenly heart mirror to test it. The light on the treasure mirror surged, and after shining on Chen Qingyun, it did not show any information. And it was blank. If it was a casual cultivator from Yishi Island, a specific number would be displayed on the mirror, and each number corresponded to an identity. After confirming that Chen Qingyun was not a cultivator on the island, Liu Xuanchang nodded and was about to let him go. At this time, a voice suddenly came from the attic of the market not far away. "Deu, please stay." As soon as the voice fell, Chen Qingyun looked in the direction of the voice and heard a breeze whistling. A figure quickly flew into the air, as if teleporting, and approached in front of him in the blink of an eye, revealing the appearance of an old man in green clothes. What a fast speed! Seeing this man's skills, Chen Qingyun's expression moved. Liu Xuanchang and others on the side, when they saw the old man's appearance clearly, showed respectful expressions, and quickly put away their magic tools and bowed to greet him. "Hello, ancestor." Several people said almost in unison. Seeing this situation, Chen Qingyun guessed something. When his eyes met the blue-clothed ancestor's gaze, he saw a faint smile on the other's face, and said slowly, "Deu is not a cultivator from this island, so you can leave freely, but I would like to invite Deu to cooperate with me. Can I have a word with you?" This person's origin is not simple, as he can make people around him so respectful and call him ancestor. Chapter 323 Han Leozu. Chen Qingyun secretly paid attention, but did not rush to respond. Instead, he subconsciously wanted to explore the depth of the other party's cultivation. He expanded his spiritual sense and fell on the other party. He found that he felt like he was facing a sleeping dragon waiting to wake up, full of unchallengeable majesty. The other party must have surpassed the Purple Mansion period in terms of cultivation. It is not difficult to guess that this person is most likely the Han Patriarch. A giant cultivator asked for an invitation. It is not too late to say whether it is good to refuse. It is not too late to see what specific cooperation the other party wants to develop. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun nodded. "Please, lead the way, senior." Following the Han Patriarch, Chen Qingyun came to the 5th-level spiritual vein of Yishi Island, the cave of Beatty Mountain. The spiritual energy here is particularly rich. As soon as you set foot, you will feel refreshed. After Han Leozu invited Chen Qingyun to sit down, he smiled and asked, "If I remember correctly, you are Chen Qingyun from the Chen family of Lingjian Island, right?" Chen Qingyun frowned when he was recognized at a glance, but he didn't feel surprised. "Senior, do you know me?" "Of course I do." Han Leozu smiled even more, showing some appreciation. "I also participated in the Xingzong campaign, responsible for the battles in the Eastern Theater, the Liaoyuan Islands. Your rise, Deu, has not only spread in Jianyuan Island, Xingwan Island and other places, but also spread to Liaoyuan Islands, and many people know about it. You have been fighting in the Liaoyuan Islands for more than a year, and I have heard of your name more or less. Among all the younger generations, your progress is the most significant." After hearing Han Leozu's words, Chen Qingyun suddenly realized. After all, when he was in Liaoyuan Islands, he knew that Han Leozu was there. However, due to the huge gap in strength, the giant patriarch has always been a mysterious dragon that is hard to find. How could he pay attention to which giant patriarch was paying attention to him? He was already busy killing monsters to earn military merits. As for why the other party was looking for him, it was definitely not to call him to praise him. Chen Qingyun kept his composure and did not ask, waiting for the other party to take the initiative to get to the point. Patriarch Han did not like to beat around the bush. After a pause, he asked directly. "Recently, there are evil cultivators from Jian Island hiding and making trouble on the island. Do you know about it?" "I know a little bit." "Well, then I will tell you in detail." Patriarch Han began to tell the story in a concise manner. 9 days ago, the old demon Xuanian from Jian Island came to Yishi Island with more than 100 disciples, wanting to seek revenge from me for the broken arm 64 years ago. 64 years ago, this demon was causing chaos in the outer sea, and I couldn't stand it, so I almost killed him on the sea. However, this demon was cunning and finally escaped by performing the blood magic escape technique. I guessed that he would hold a grudge and come back one day, so while I was on guard all these years, I was also trying to find the location of Giant Island, but unfortunately I found nothing. I speculate that Giant Island is not in the range of the Sea of Stars now, and may have moved to the Sea of 10,000 Monsters. Speaking of the old grudges, Han Laozi frowned, and he had long wanted to uproot Giant Island and eradicate this scourge. However, Giant Island is not in the Sea of Stars, and the Sea of 10,000 Monsters is so vast and boundless, it is not easy to find a base for demon cultivation. Giant Island is in the Sea of 10,000 Monsters. When Chen Qingyun heard this, he couldn't help but feel that the demon cultivators there were not only cunning, but also not to be underestimated. Even a giant and strong man like Han Laozi couldn't do anything about it, so what could he do with his mere purple mansion cultivation? It seems that in the future, when he has enough strength, he still has to find a way to find Giant Island and eliminate it as soon as possible. After all, Chen Qingyun had offended the demon cultivators of Giant Island and killed Zilamo and others. How could Han Laozi know that there was a grudge between Chen Qingyun and Giant Island? He only heard him change the subject and mentioned the number of demon cultivators this time. Let's talk about the situation on the island. This time, the demon cultivators' surprise attack caused the loss of more than 130 cultivators on the island, including 2 foundation building cultivators. As for the demon cultivators, I have already found and killed 67 of them. The remaining 77 are still hiding in various places on the island. After listening for a while, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but ask, according to your strength, it is not difficult to wipe out these demon cultivators. Why do you have to wait until now? This is the headache. Ancestor Han smiled bitterly and said with a bit of worry, the strength of the Xuanian old demon is comparable to mine. We are both in the middle stage of the golden elixir. So far, he has not officially taken action, but has been lurking around Yishi Island. If I focus on those low-level demon cultivators and waste time, I am afraid that the Xuanian old demon will have an opportunity to take advantage of it and damage the safety of the entire Yishi Island. Ancestor Han spoke slowly, and Chen Qingyun gradually frowned. According to the strength of Ancestor Han, it is not a big problem to wipe out this group of demon cultivators. But the problem is that they are the passive party, and they don't know when and where the old demon Xuanian will attack. Assuming that the other party deliberately lures Han away and then takes the opportunity to attack Yishi Island, can the scattered cultivators on the island resist? Regarding the strength of the cultivators on the island, Han Laozi talked about it. Although the number of scattered cultivators in Yishi Island has reached more than 10,000, 80% to 90% are Qi refining cultivators, and there are only more than 100 individual foundation building cultivators. There are only 2 people in the Purple Mansion stage, 1 in the early Purple Mansion stage and 1 in the middle Purple Mansion stage. It is reasonable that there are few Purple Mansion cultivators. If a casual cultivator can cultivate to the foundation establishment stage, he can already make a name for himself in the casual cultivator world, establish a family of immortals, and continue his descendants. Many casual cultivators who have established a foundation will embark on the path of establishing a family. In this way, there will definitely not be many casual cultivators who can continue to stay on Yishi Island. As for casual cultivators in the Purple Mansion stage, let alone. Ancestor Han has no habit of accepting disciples, he only practices himself and manages Yishi Island in his spare time. Those casual cultivators in the Purple Mansion stage. Their future, whether it is to establish a family. Or to join a sect. Or to venture into other places of opportunity, is much better than staying on Yishi Island and continuing to be a casual cultivator. This is the situation of casual cultivators on Yishi Island. Since many people have participated in the Star Sex battles and obtained resources and spirit stones, their overall strength must have improved. However, let's get back to the point. No matter how many cultivators there are on the island, As long as they don't have the strength of the giant in stage, how can they fight against the Xuanian old demon? Therefore, what Han Laozu is doing now is passive defense. He doesn't spend time dealing with those low-level demon cultivators, but pays attention to the dynamics of Xuanian Laozu. He always keeps full mana and is ready to start a peak showdown at any time. As for those low-level demon cultivators, they are currently left to the casual cultivators to deal with. Speaking of this is why I'm looking for you. Han Laozu looked solemn and stated the purpose of the invitation. I called you this time because I hope you can take care of you when you encounter the Purple Mansion demon cultivators in the market. Before Chen Qingyun responded, Han Laozu took out a jade box and said, "Of course, I won't let you waste your energy. You might as well take a look at this treasure before making a decision." Chapter 324 Island-Wide Investigation. Ancestor Han opened the jade box and revealed the treasure inside. I believe that fellow Taoist disciples are already in the late stage of the Purple Mansion, which is when they need superior magic weapons. This is a third-level high-grade spiritual magic weapon, the Great Dream Ring. Let's give it to fellow Taoist as a meeting gift first. Spiritual magic weapons, like soul magic weapons, are a very niche type and are more expensive than magic weapons of the same level. In terms of value, it is at least more than 125,000 spiritual stones. The effect of this big dream ring is to attack the monk's spirit. It can cause the opponent's spirit to be bewitched, controlled, and trapped in an illusion. This effect can play a vital role in a battle that changes rapidly and can determine the outcome in a moment. It was a high-grade magic weapon as a meeting gift. This handiwork of Patriarch Han was not insignificant. Chen Qingyun is somewhat interested in this big dream ring. There happens to be a lack of magical tools in this area. It's just that this is no reward. Once you accept this big dream ring, you agree to help. As for whether to help or not, there is really no need to think too much about this. Chen Qingyun decided to help old ancestor Han do this. This was originally part of Chen Qingyun's future plan to deal with the demonic cultivators of Giant Island. Back then, Giant Island sent demon cultivators one after another to raid Zenhai Island, but the matter was not over yet. How could this hidden danger be left unaddressed? Now, there is nothing better than joining forces with Ancestor Han to destroy the power of Giant Island. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun naturally would not refuse again. Since we are helping to fight against demonic cultivators below the Golden Core stage, we cannot say too much about whether it is a good fight or not. So, Chen Qingyun opened his mouth and said, "Senior, you are welcome. As long as it is within the scope of my ability, I will do my best. It's natural." Ancestor Han smiled lightly and said, "According to recent information, among the group of demon cultivators, there are estimated to be 3 or 4 in the Xifu stage. If we really have to confront them, you can just contain them, you don't have to kill them. After I deal with Patriarch Xuanian, the rest of the demon cultivators won't be anything to worry about." With that said, Ancestor Han wiped his palm across the storage bag again and took out a talisman. "This is the Baong Heavenly Fire Talisman that I refined. As long as it is used properly, it will not be a problem to deal with monks below the Golden Core stage. This thing, even if it is your reward this time, what do fellow Taoists think about it?" "Good. The commission is so simple, and Chen Qingyun is sure that he can obtain a high-grade magic weapon and a talisman, so there is nothing to be picky about. Just do it and it's done. The two discuss the specific cooperation matters. In the next month, Chen Qingyun will stay on Yishi Island. Not only can he use Beatty Mountain, the 5th-level spiritual vein on the island, for free, but he has also gained the status of a leader. On Yishi Island, there are monk guards who are responsible for patrolling, monitoring, and guarding the entire island, similar to the city guards in a city. Before the attack by the demonic cultivators on Giant Island, there are about 100 monk guards on Yishi Island, and they are divided into 6 teams to patrol around every day. Recently, due to the chaos caused by demon cultivators, they are lurking throughout the city. Ancestor Han added 200 monks to guard him, The lowest ones were at the 5th level of Qi refining, and the highest ones were at the late stage of foundation building. These more than 300 monk guards were divided into 30 teams according to the instructions. They circulated day and night and were scattered throughout Yishi Island to strengthen defense. Doing so can not only expand the scope of inspections, but also facilitate the timely discovery of traces of demon cultivators, so that they can take action immediately. Chen Qingyun's identity as leader is as the leader of the Monk's Guard. There are 2 other Zaifu casual cultivators with this title. He can follow the rules and mobilize all the monk guards on the island to carry out patrols, check out demon cultivators and other tasks. Patriarch Han already had a plan in mind on how to find out the demonic cultivator. In 3 days, I will arrange for you 3 leaders of the Purple Mansion to lead the manpower and use the Purple Sun Mirror as a detection tool to investigate the monks on the island one by one. With the help of this magic refining treasure, the demon cultivators will have no way to hide. Even if they have practiced Qi condensing techniques and concealed their demonic Qi, they will definitely be exposed under the detection of Purple Sun Mirror. When the time comes, you will take action to eradicate them. As for Ancestor Xuanian, I will always keep an eye on it. You can rest assured on this. I alone will be responsible for threats above the Zaifu level. Okay, according to Senior's arrangements. It is obviously suitable to use the Purple Sun Mirror to detect magic cultivators. The only thing you need to pay attention to is to arrange manpower during the inspection. At least there must be foundation building monks following him so that he can have enough strength to fight. Next is the specific use plan of purple sunglasses. According to the introduction of Patriarch Han, the Purple Sun Mirror is a magical weapon he refined, and there are 3 in total. 3 days later, after sealing Yishi Island, these 3 Purple Sun Mirrors will be used to conduct a large-scale investigation of the monks on the island. Until all the hidden demon cultivators are cleared out. This method takes time to develop slowly, but fortunately it is very stable. During the 3 days when Patriarch Han was arranging manpower, Chen Qingyun first went to Taixu Hall to get the Magic Sunstone, a total of 5 pieces. It is worth mentioning. After paying attention to Chen Qingyun's developments, I learned from Zhang Fuxu of Taixu Hall that Chen Qingyun was purchasing 3rd-level weapon refining materials such as Sun Magic Stone and Taiyuite. Patriarch Han paid for himself and asked Taixu Hall to provide Chen Qingyun with a lot of 3rd-level materials. Among them, the Taiyuite Stone, the Fantasy Sun Stone, and even the agate silver crystals waiting for delivery. Each prepared 20 copies, and presented them to Chen Qingyun. First, there were magic weapons and talismans as rewards. Now, there were also materials for refining. Chen Qingyun was quite satisfied with this assistance. Anyway, after returning to Zhenhai Island, he would need to refine weapons. It would be better to train here and clean up the demon cultivators on Giant Island first. Can I make friends with Han Leozu or something? It's always good to have more connections. A plan was made. 3 days later, under the order of Han Leozu, all the scattered cultivators on the entire island were summoned together for a large-scale investigation. If anyone dared to disobey, he would be killed on the spot. This caused the hidden demon cultivators not to dare to resist easily, and they could only gather with their noses pinched. On Yishi Island, on a huge square, more than 5,000 people gathered today. Starting with the registered independent cultivators, they were carefully examined one by one using the 8 treasures spectroscope and then the Purple Sun Mirror. Chen Qingyun and the other 2 Purple Mansion cultivators stood together, looking at the independent cultivators being examined, each of them pondering without speaking. The other 2 Purple Mansion cultivators, one named Qingguang and the other named Li Qingao. These 2 were stationed here, cooperating with Chen Qingyun's actions, and were ready to take action at any time. This caused a tense atmosphere to spread across the square. Chapter 325, The Old Demon Xuanian. Due to the huge number of casual cultivators. This test will last for several days. 9 foundation building guards took turns urging the Purple Sun Mirror to carry out testing. With the active cooperation of many casual cultivators, the first day of testing ended quickly. At night, A total of more than 3,000 people were tested, but no trace of the demon cultivator was found for the time being. The same goes for the next day and the third day. No matter whether it was the monks who took the initiative to come here for testing or the monks who were forcibly brought here for testing, no demonic energy was detected. It was not until 3 days of continuous testing that more than 9,000 people were eliminated. On this morning, under the usual inspection, there was a monk who looked calm, but when faced with the inspection of the purple sun mirror, he suddenly showed a grating expression. Until under the illumination of the precious mirror, black hair surged on the mirror surface, and strange movements appeared. Seeing that his identity was exposed, this person finally couldn't hold it any longer and suddenly rioted. He took out a bloody flying knife and hit the monk holding the purple sun mirror. It's a demon cultivator. The expression of the foundation building monk holding the purple sun mirror changed. There is no need to wait for him to take action. Qingguang made a quick decision and immediately activated a flying sword. With a whoosh, he blocked the attack of the bloody flying knife and knocked the magic weapon away. This is a demon cultivator. Get rid of him quickly. In addition, upon seeing this, several foundation-building casual cultivators around him took action and joined forces to attack him. This demonic cultivator only has the 8th level of Qi refining. Even if he takes the first step, he cannot withstand the attack of the Zaifu cultivator. In just a few breaths and a few moves, he was killed on the spot. After testing so many cultivators, I finally found a demon cultivator. Qingguang withdrew his flying sword and stepped forward to check. He saw that the figure of the demon cultivator on the ground changed and turned into the appearance of a young man. It's the art of disguise. Have you seen this person before? Li Chanel stepped forward and saw through the magic of disguising himself. He raised his brows and asked the 2 monks who had guarded the entrance to Fangxi around him. No. Never seen it. The 2 monks each shook their heads, indicating that they were not impressed. It's normal that they haven't seen it. A city is no better than a town. New faces appear every day. Demonic cultivators are good at changing their body and appearance. How much can they remember just by relying on memory? Qingguang said, groping around on the demon cultivator, and soon found a storage bag. This thing will be handed over to Ancestor Han in the future. They don't dare to check it easily now. At the same time, as the first demon cultivator was exposed, there was some commotion among the surrounding crowd. They were worried that the other demon cultivators were also present and would suddenly take action. The atmosphere in the square began to become a little chaotic. Everyone, be quiet, don't worry too much. Seeing the small commotion among the scattered cultivators in all directions, Qingguang spoke loudly to stabilize the atmosphere here. In this test, with the help of fellow Taoist Chen from the later period of Zaifu, even the idle demonic cultivator of Zaifu can't make any waves. The appearance of Chen Qingyun has long attracted the attention of many monks. At this moment, when they learned that Chen Qingyun was a late-stage cultivator in Zaifu, their eyes immediately focused on him. In the late Zaifu period, he is actually so young. It's amazing. What is the specific origin of this person? Is he a family monk? I heard that he was a Taoist friend invited by Patriarch Han. He must have an extraordinary origin. It's not something you and I can guess. Amidst the discussions, the originally chaotic and turbulent atmosphere gradually subsided. Testing continues. Chen Qingyun has become the focus of attention and is often noticed. Qingguang and Li Chanel were summoned by Patriarch Han 3 days ago and briefly introduced Chen Qingyun's situation. Knowing that Chen Qingyun's situation was not simple. When Qingguang was in charge, he would chat with Chen Qingyun from time to time, hoping to get acquainted. Chen Qingyun was already used to this. When he was bored, he and Qingguang occasionally chatted about the situation on the island. Li Chanel, on the other hand, seemed taciturn and looked like an honest man, with his eyes fixed on the detection direction. Just like that, it was evening again in a blink of an eye. When there were only more than 500 people left, traces of the demonic cultivator appeared again. This demonic cultivator has the initial cultivation level of foundation building. Unlike the previous one, he suddenly took action before being tested by Purple Sun Mirror, setting up a long and narrow black sword and trying to escape. Ancestor Han himself was sitting around here, paying attention to every move in the square. There was no need for him to take action at all, and the demon cultivator had nowhere to escape. This time, it was still not Chen Qingyun who took action. Where to go? More than a dozen foundation-building monks who had been deployed around the area were dispatched at the same time. They came to catch turtles in a jar and killed the demonic cultivator. 2 demonic cultivators appeared one after another, among the remaining 500 or so people. It meant that there were demonic cultivators hiding. Everyone speeded up the testing process. As expected, the frequency of demonic cultivators appearing later became higher and higher. When the 5th demon cultivator was detected, these demon cultivators simply stopped waiting and took action one after another. A total of 62 demon cultivators, 15 in the foundation building stage, and 47 in the chi refining stage took action and attacked the surrounding casual cultivators. A great war broke out. Seeing dozens of demon cultivators appear, Chen Qingyun and others quickly took action and worked together to surround and kill these demon cultivators. At the same time, around Beatty Mountain, more than a dozen demon cultivators gathered around an old man with a stern face and black hair. Grandmaster, Junior Brother Yu and his men have been exposed and have started to fight openly. Are we just going to wait here? Why not kill them now and catch them off guard? HMPH. This Han guy is so decisive that he actually blocked the entire Yashi Island. Isn't this just to trap us on the island? It's a foolish dream. The 2 Purple Mansion period demon cultivators spoke, with a hint of scarlet in their eyes. These days, they have been changing their appearances and hiding in the market, secretly killing more than 300 cultivators and refining magic tools. I wanted to lurk for a few months like this, making the entire Yashi Island panic and disgusting Grandmaster Han. Unexpectedly, Grandmaster Han would decisively issue a ban, even if it meant blocking Yashi Island and not allowing the island's independent cultivators to go out. They would still have to catch them out. What's more tricky is that they actually have the Purple Sun Mirror, a magic refining treasure in their hands. Seeing his men's eagerness to move, the black-haired old man suddenly opened his eyes, and a strong cold light flashed in his eyes. This scene caused the 2 Purple Mansion demon cultivators to change their expressions. They couldn't help shrinking their heads, feeling their hair stand on end and their backs chilled. The originally noisy atmosphere suddenly became quiet, and the atmosphere became so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. This black-haired old man was the Xuanian old demon from Giant Island. In the deadly silence, until more than a dozen demon cultivators felt suffocated. The Xuanian old demon, who had been silent all the time and was like an active volcano, finally spoke. Okay, let's do it tonight. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.